Welcome back to Hampton Downs for the North Island Endurance Series Round 3. We're here in racing on the international circuit and the 3R cars are just getting ready to go out. I've got one of the drivers here with me, Damon Leach. How's things gone for you today?
So far so good. It's been quite a tricky day weather-wise really, but it's obviously the same for everyone. But it's been kind of off and on, just little rain showers coming through and the track kind of in between those, drying out and then until the next shower comes through. So it looks as though the start of the 3-hour race is going to be fairly wet, but it's whether or not anyone wants to sort of take the punt and maybe go out on slick. So we'll have to see what everyone decides to do in a couple of minutes.
So just to put that in perspective, the sky is blue, the sun is out, rain at the track. I did a lap in the safety car at lunchtime, taking everyone their lunch, and it is really wet on track, right? And there's a lot of grease and mud and stuff from cars going off last time.
I think I haven't sort of been obviously around all the track, but from what we can see from looking over the fence, it's still looking really wet, and there'll be a few puddles, and they'll definitely be pretty sketchy on slicks, I'd say. But so probably lucky don't have to start the race.
But the Leach family's from Invercargill, and they're used to tricky conditions, aren't they?
Yeah, I think everyone's probably done. If you live in New Zealand, you all, no matter where you're from, Invercargill gets a bit of a hard stick on the weather. But to be honest, I've probably done more wet racing at any other track in the country than Teretonga. But no, it's all part of the fun, and just lucky to be given the chance to get out here and drive. So no matter the conditions, I'm not going to be complaining. It's should be great fun.
For the pro driver, especially in a team with 3 drivers, how do you work through the strategy for the day and obviously with the team now with looking at weather and things like that? What do you go through in your lead up? Because for the pro, you've got a lot of time out of the car.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of time that the pros are only allowed to drive for a maximum of 70 minutes. So that's compared to previous sort of seasons or previous years where the rules have been changed a bit for this season, which I think is actually kind of really even things out and probably made it a lot fairer for some of the different teams and driver kind of combinations, and also maybe for us with the 3 drivers, all it means is Glenn, our car owner, and John, our other co-driver, those guys sort of roughly will do give or take about an hour each, and then I'll do the last hour or maybe a little longer depending on how things play out.
So obviously everyone's waiting to the very last minute to get out on track before the pit lane closes because they don't know what tyres to go on. Looks like the button wet's on the car here, so was that the plan?
I think so, yeah. They did toy up maybe the option of going on slicks, but I think it was just a little maybe.
So a bit of action going on in the pits because nobody wants to go out until they have to go out. So what time does pit lane close? Not too far away.
Yeah, it's probably less than 2 minutes, I'd say, till pit lane closes. So I think I spotted in the corner mile a couple of the other competitors, that are sort of our rivals or however we want to word it. But they've snuck past already. So as long as the car gets out there and see what happens in the first start of the race, I guess.
And so you'll just change any strategy depending on rain and all those kind of things, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's all kind of a little bit up in the air, but at the same token, it's weather conditions are the same for all the competitors. So we'll just, I'm sure Glenn will do his best and push as hard as he can while the track's wet, and then it's also kind of tossing the coin a little bit as to where we maybe have to pit if the track dries up so much.
So the other thing with the big track, what does that mean for fuel consumption? Because obviously on the shorter circuit, it really didn't play into it in terms of strategy.
Yeah, I think actually, and to be honest, we're probably a little bit behind maybe some of the other teams as far as knowing those numbers. We haven't actually done any laps this event or sort of pre the event, whereas a couple of the other guys have, I think, even done hundreds and hundreds of laps. So it's sort of, they've got maybe a little bit of a head start and a bit more knowledge on the fuel side of it. But I'm sure as the track dries up this afternoon, the team will keep an eye on what the car, how much fuel it's using, and just sort of go with the flow. And it's a long race. Anything can kind of happen, but we'll just do our best and see how it goes. Yeah.
Because it's a modified GT3 car of an older spec and running different turbos and things like that. Just are you able to tweak it through the race to like save fuel and make more power, or how does that all work?
Yeah, it has a couple of little different sort of engine settings as such that you can adjust on the steering wheel. But basically, when we're got to run to kind of a longer fuel stint, or similar to any of the other cars, we've got to run on a bit of a lower power setting, just so we don't sort of burn too much fuel or have to do any kind of additional pit stops. So over a lap, definitely we've got a bit more power than some of the more modern cars, but at the same token, our cars, a bit older, but it's had a lot more sort of upgrades than maybe some of the likes of the Audi or Lamborghini and some of the other vehicles out there.
So I know last time I almost cut you off midstream when you wanted to say hello to some of the people out there, so I'll give you the opportunity this time to do it properly.
Yeah, g'day to my Lily and Hugo back home and Britt, so I'm sure they'll be watching at home. So.
And is Granddad watching on the live stream?
I think, no, Granddad, one of the Granddads, my father's here this weekend and Mum as well, so and then little brother's probably watching from, I think he's over at Le Mans this weekend, helping or spectating, whatever. I'm sure he's working pretty hard, but probably not. But g'day to anyone that's watching from around the country, and hopefully you guys have a good afternoon, and we put on a good show. So.
Awesome, thanks, man, and hello, Damon. Brendan, of course. Do you often? Sometimes people mix you up, right? Damon and Brendan, close names.
Probably. I don't want to bag the commentators. It's a hard job, but I know at the last event, everyone was getting ourselves sort of mixed up. But just remember, I'm the better looking one.
Younger?
No, I'm the older one, but we'll stop it there, Adam, I think.
You both look pretty young, so there you go. Yeah. All right, well, we better go upstairs to the commentary and out to the track. And enjoy the race, and we'll see you down for some interviews as we go through the race.
Okay, well, JT back with you again, and we're about ready to get underway with the afternoon for 3 hour, and I'm joined by Mike Mallard and Mark Patch again. Good afternoon, Mark.
Yes.
And
it's a very good afternoon.
We'll give the other Mark a microphone as well.
The final race of the 3 hour North Island Endurance Series. We're looking forward to it. And if you watch the last race, the rain came for one lap and the track is drying, but most of these runners are on wets, so that's going to make it a very interesting race on who can make those wets last, because the weather, John Tonlin Weather Forecasting Service picked the 1 o'clock rain, which came.
At 12:36, but yeah, it's still a bit early.
But he's told us it's not coming again.
Till 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
So it
race
could come at 5.
Race end will be right around 5 o'clock, won't it?
Well, we could end up with a repeat of Taupo, Mark 2, or Mark Patch. He's all right, he's live. So, okay, so as they wander off on their warm-up, we'll...
Good battle there at the back with the Class 5 competitors. Wall's out there. He's on slicks. 2 cars on slicks out there. The BMW of Bagley and the Honda of Wall. So, and then young Thomas Mallard has been given the series Nexons that we've run all year, and those have actually done over a round of running plus our very short endurance race last time. So, but once the practice sessions and stuff like that, starting to get worried about them lasting. So,
yeah, they should. Those Nexons are not a bad tire. They should last them, for at least half the race anyway.
Yeah, we've got another set there just in case.
So the Honda though that's around you, that one there, that's the 100 car. That's on slicks, is it?
That is on slicks. So we've got a chance at the start, but as soon as it gets dry, I think that car has got a bit more engine performance than us, so we're going to have to try. That's the battle of Class 5 there, the Cream Insurance car and the Prestige car.
I'm just looking at that left front guard there, Mark. Is that a new paint design you've got on there, or is that just a new guard?
That's a new car. Thomas had a little bit of an accident at the last round at Taupo, and we haven't cleaned up the paint job on the car at all. We just put it out. We're running.
Fair enough. So
we've done no setup. We've done nothing since the championship. We're just driving it, and
well, of course, you didn't have a very good run here in the 3 hour and round one you had a gearbox issue, and I think you only got out there for about half an hour or something.
Yeah, we gearbox issue really. It's a series gearbox that we'd run since Ruapuna, so I'd done a lot of running. Dad was being cheap and didn't replace it, and so we've got a replacement one in there. But also Thomas is learning endurance racing, because it's a different type of racing than endurance racing, and he's so used to that fast pace, flat shifting and things like that. We need to look after the weakness of the gearbox. As this grid, this is going to be one more warm-up lap after this, so we're going to see the safety car get in front of them, and then it will be start-uppers. Yes, so the AM drivers are in most of the cars, so it's going to be Fillmore, Manson, Smith, Brazier, then Scholar will be starting in the Porsche, and then Gilbertson in the other Porsche. Turner is starting in his car. I believe it's James Saxon, his, Thomas Mallard, and then we're unsure, but we think it's Wall in the Honda.
I'll tell you what, I just picked this up. Andrew Turner's got Steve Benenbrook driving.
Yes, he does.
And Steve is a very, very good driver.
So that was a very last-minute call with a sickness in his co-driver's family, and that's why he's been
young Graham not well.
Yes, who was meant to be his co-driver's family.
Yeah, well, Steve Benenbrook, for those of you that don't recognise the name, goes right back to the days of the HQ Holdens and the Super Sixes, and a very, very accomplished driver, like very fast. And
yeah, it's the second warm-up lap right now. Also giving them a chance to sight the track conditions and things like that. Yep, and letting them go by themselves so that they can have a little bit more time to get the speed and get the tyres warm before they get behind the safety car. And a very strong message from the clerk of the course about behaviour behind the safety car and under yellow flag conditions was delivered to us all before this.
Okay,
and,
so let's just confirm then that what we thought was happening in the the safety car behind. They are now going to wait for the entire field to line up in order.
If they clear cars through,
yep,
then they will wait for them to come around.
Okay, because that's what we thought was happening before.
I think if you had a pit stop, and then maybe not, but if you're being let through and come around, they will then rejoin the field.
But of course, it doesn't matter in this because you can pit under safety car in this race.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not. Yeah, so okay. No,
there's no point. So this is a race. This is the race to the end. Fastest driver gets there. The only difference is driver time limit is the only really rule around that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I've made myself an elite driver, so I have a shorter stint. So I appreciate those rules. Self-given elite driver, so I don't have to have the fitness of doing a 2-hour stint. But as we come up, look at that front row. They've been battling all year. The Fillmore, the Manson car. We saw our last round there, the Leach car with Glenn Smith in it there. That was a great little drive from them in the last round. So they're in third. We've had probably the quickest car in the series there in fourth. When Wake gets into that car, that Lamborghini has been flying this year. So we see them come up, nice little gaps there. Everyone's playing it very nice as we sit at 80 k's an hour as we come up to the start-finish line. We're waiting for it to go green in the Creme Insurance Northern Island Endurance Series 3-hour. As the light is red as they come up, the safety car is now in pit lane. Watch them, they'll fan out as soon as the green light goes.
Here they're coming around the top of the track now. Into our view now, the green will go anytime soon.
Green, green, green.
There they go.
And off to a start. Manson gets a flyer and gets managed to get the drive down as he comes through.
Brazier there and said, I'll tell you what, Glenn Smith's lost a couple of spots there. He's dropped back behind Simon Gilbertson. And as they thunder down that long straight towards the hairpin at the end here, and there's still a lot of water out there.
Definitely is. Trying to get those cars pulled up, nice early braking. Everyone's done a good job there.
You can see the flags blowing in the background, so there's a fair bit of wind. That's going to dry off. I would say within about 4 laps, there'll be a nice dry line through there.
I know he was on wets in the pit lane. He was definitely on wets. I did check his lane, so unless it was a last-second change, he had wet tyres on there. But just getting used to the car, and it is a long race. You don't want to have an accident on the first lap and ruin your rest of your race.
I'm going to be intrigued to see following Taupo. These are completely 2 different tracks. Taupo, you've got that big long back straight, and you do have one long one here. As to whether that McLaren, once everything's dry, is going to start putting pressure on those Audis, because Taupo, the McLaren was definitely quicker on the straights. And they did very well, yeah. Absolutely.
Is brother running at Le Mans this week?
Yes, he is, that's right, yeah. So, as is Scott Dixon.
Yes,
and
Alabama.
And Brendan Hartley, yeah. So
as we see these guys battle up the straight, across the line they come. It's a small gap as we start this race here. 0.3 of a gap as they work their way through. Fillmore struggled there under brakes and to manage to get the car to turn down, but Manson's got it sideways and he's had to get out of the gas. That's allowed Fillmore to get the run. Fillmore's got that drive down and won't mind being on the wet line.
Brazier sitting in the back there, just keeping a watching brief. And
that's it. It's made that made. That was that little slip up we saw on the exit of 1. Caused Fillmore to get the drive.
When you're that close together, and
he spun.
He's gone.
He spun.
Lost it. Turned it round. So
and there's Smith getting past.
that's frustrating.
Smith had got past the Gilbertson car.
You can virtually see he's got frustrated with himself there because he's lost that position, and obviously lost a bit of concentration there and turned the thing around.
Well, we hope that doesn't auto like Phil. Yeah, Fillmore in that first time we came here made one mistake, lost 13 seconds, and that was the difference in the race.
Yep.
That could be playing out throughout this whole race, that one little spin, because these cars are so evenly matched, and the team IMS puts out such a good car with both of them.
Now I noticed that
Hodgson starting to make a move on the GT4. Oh, sorry, that's it's Scholar in the car there, and there comes Madsen now. Doesn't look like any damage to the car, so he'll be able to get it right. He's going to look for a safety car at some
I noticed that Len Smith's got back past Gilbertson. He's now up in the 4th position as well. So now it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on the times.
He'll be up to 3rd
Yes,
now.
he will be, yeah.
As across comes Fillmore, and then right behind him is going to be Brazier in the Lamborghini.
Now that car that I think we're going to see improve. Brazier is he's getting more and more used to that car, and that's got a lot of power, that machine. Although effectively it is an Audi really, or an Audi Z, whatever you want to put it. So
as we see our leader make his way through, it's very tricky through this area here. As we saw Madsen make a mistake, you just got to be so patient with the gas, because it's slightly off camber, so as you try and get the gas down, it likes to bring a ring around on you, as we saw with the little issue Madsen had. But he's going to start picking up time and start getting through this field. We're starting to see the slick tyres.
It's going to be interesting to see. So what was the difference as he came across the line? How far behind was he? He was behind by, now, he was 24 seconds behind as they came across the line last time. So keep an eye on that and see how he progresses throughout the afternoon. And
he's just got to be patient. Can't build it in one lap. So he's got to do a little bit.
See, now you can see that dry line appearing. I did say 3 or 4 laps. It's starting to appear already.
Yeah, we're starting to see some of the slick runners starting to come down in their times. The little Honda is, so we'll watch the light times of the Honda and the BMW as they try and get the power down with the slicks, and see how that changeover happens. As we're starting to see some real dry lines coming though, and that's going to start hurting these cars' tyres. Scholar takes the pass on Sachs and starts to move away as they come down. But look how wet that area is, and that's a very tricky spot under braking.
Yeah, obviously he's got wet tyres on there, so he's going out and search for a bit of water. But
they work their way through. Scholar's done a great job being the Porsche champion for 2 years running, and to give himself the challenge with the young charger of Ethan Hodgson, who's running the cars over in Australia, so really is very sharp in that car, will help Scholar's development of his driving a lot. So we see them. And fastest in Sector 2 by 0.7 of a second there. He's quicker than Brazier through the second sector. The first sector so short, with it being just about 10 seconds, so it's hard to see differences there. But Fillmore definitely fast through that second sector with a 26.623. Manson's quick as well, so he's starting to pull in some time now on the guys in front of him.
well, there's not a lot of difference really between the Lamborghini and the Audi at the front, lap time wise. Probably there are 3 or 4 tenths of a second difference at this time.
And Fillmore with a different driver this one, if you haven't caught up with it. Dan Gaunt in the car, Johnny Reid away on a family holiday. So
that's
Gaunt in
right,
the car.
Yes. So
a change of drivers there for that partnership. In the lead car, Sam Fillmore with Dan Gaunt as his co-driver.
well, Dan Gaunt's not exactly a slug either. I mean, he's former New Zealand Grand Prix winner.
Multiple.
So, multiple, yeah. That's actually 3 times, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only him and Ken Smith have won it 3
Yes.
times. So, okay, fastest lap that time by Sam with a 1:44.029. Let's have a look and see what the McLaren is doing. 1:48. No, he's well off. 1:48.076. So, because this track a lot more flowing than Taupo.
Certainly is.
So the Audi will definitely benefit here.
Through this infield section is where it's got the advantage. That aero works so well for it.
Yeah. So that McLaren is actually quite an old car now. It's showing what year it is.
214.
Our walking almanac here has just come up with that one. So it's always an advantage having Mark Patch in the commentary box. He's a mine of information. So
looks like Manson's caught up to the Gilbertson car too. They're having a little bit of a battle and be able to get past him. Yeah, has he got past him now? So we'll catch up with that battle. So Manson now moved up to 4th spot after that second lap spin that he had from the lead. Oh, from second, sorry, just been passed, hadn't he?
yeah, so
Giltrap group on the back of that polyfloor car. Scholar's doing a good job getting that through there.
is it Regan Scholar driving the car?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So
Well, they told me before the race it was, so I hope they've kept their word.
fair enough. So
I'm pretty sure that's his helmet.
so
Not
what is that? That's a 991.
yes.
So actually only 2 Porsches in this race. So
Yeah, we lost the Bezier car.
yeah, what happened to that?
Not too sure. It came in with its bonnet up at one stage. I'm not too sure what happened.
Well, we're never going to fix the problem because the motor's in the back.
Well, no, well, sorry. Well, I can't call it a boot when it's in the front, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a weapon, that car. So, so that's right, because you don't run the yeah, that's right, yeah.
So we're starting to see these tyres on the slick starting to get faster. I'm watching the Turner car, and he sort of brought his lap times down by 4 seconds a lap as he's got quicker. That car, when the slicks are working, should be probably another 7-8 seconds faster. So when we see that come down to that sort of under 2-minute pace, we will know that the slicks are the way, and that will mean that teams will start needing to make some strategy calls.
Do you know if Andrew is in the car or is if it's Steve in the
I
car?
believe it is Andrew in the car to start.
Okay, that's fair enough, yeah. So,
I think he owns the car and said, I'm taking it first.
yeah.
Absolute opposite of me going, no, it's weird, I'll stay out. He drives in the TA2 class and does a good job. As Fillmore's caught our back markers and just making a slow progress through as Thomas lets him gets to the outside and away that goes. It's not a battle. But that Class 5 battle is close there with the slick-tired wall car and the Honda there. He's got a bit more straight line toe. He's caught up to Thomas down that straight. See the Race Cars and Sheds logo on the front of the car. Yeah, not the cleanest Creme insurance on the side there, but we'll clean up that card at some stage.
Oh, mind you, he's Thomas is doing quite well there with the Creme car. It's I think there's also a Dale ITM sticker on there somewhere, isn't
Yeah,
there?
definitely a Dale ITM sticker, Pack and Save, and a few other sponsors he's managed to pull in. He has to go out and get all his own sponsors, apart from Creme. He talks to his mother about that, and she seems to be far better on the race budget than I am. I'm a bit tighter. I want to spend it myself, so he knows where to go, mummy.
Yep, absolutely. But I think one of the neatest parts about that though is you get to race with your son, which is quite a neat thing for a lot of fathers and sons to do.
And my dad's on the gas.
Yeah, well, there
So
you go.
they've got
That's
3
right.
generations,
Yeah.
part of the North Island Endurance Series, and there's lots of families around. We've seen Manson's having around, and it's just great to see, and the Cottrells and so many other families, family-run teams and stuff.
Yep.
As this Class 5 battle starts to, as we've got the Brazier car caught up, so it's quite a gap now between first and second, because it's taken nearly a lap for the Brazier car as that Honda starts to look to the outside and looking to start making moves on the stride track. But Thomas is smart enough to know he's going to keep the dry line and let the Honda struggle.
Well, the last time across the line, it was 10.6. So let's see what it is this time between first and second. As here comes the Audi now coming around the corner and across the line, and it's gone out to 11.072. Now, the other thing we need to keep an eye on
is these fastest lap times of these guys as they go. So the drying track is doing them well, but this there's a little battle here. It's probably the only battle right now in the field is between the 2 Class 5 cars. We'd love to see more Class 5 cars out there and Class 4 cars out there. You can have a battle, you can enjoy your race. You should be here with the North Island Endurance Series and also the South Island Endurance Series, which is going to kick off in a couple of months' time. A great national championship, so you can follow your racing throughout the country and get to race on most of the tracks throughout the country, can't you, Mark?
Yeah. So I might bring the BMW out.
Oh, South Island, they have that great spirit, just like this North Island. It's a camaraderie-based racing where, hey, the guys are serious and you're on the track and you're trying to win, but when you get off, there's laughs and it's just a really good time. And that's why I put my company behind this series, because the attitude of this of the people who run it and the drivers is just so much enjoyment to me and my family.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the most important things around motor racing in New Zealand. We're not at that super professional level, so you do get a lot of that camaraderie between teams and drivers and one thing and another, and it's
and you get to see some of the young drivers of the future. That last one-hour race, we saw the Bewleys and the Extons and the Hunter Robs, who are going to be the future of the next generation of drivers coming through. We've done such a good job of, sideways series, touch the wet curb. And
well, let's face it, I mean, the Toyota 86 series produced those 3 drivers. So,
and produced a whole lot of others.
It was only last season they were all battling each other in 86s, and now they've stepped up the game by a couple of $100,000 and gone into Porsches. So,
yeah, there's a few dads looking at what the slight damage bill might be after that race. I think we'll see some cleaner racing at future rounds from all of them. Because I think $9,000 for a front splitter will get their minds focused. But that Brazier car is still looking good and doing some decent lap times. They're all pulling down their lap times slowly with the drying track, but they've got to be careful not to burn out this tyre as we see that the Turner car coming down into the close to that 2-minute mark. So we are going to see the changeover of the tyre very shortly, where the slick is going to be a big advantage for them.
But yeah, he's actually up in the 3rd position. So Len Smith just not managing to pull the times.
Still lost 6 seconds on Fillmore, and that part of that will be passing the cars and things like that. We talked about 24, out to 30 seconds now. So your leader is Fillmore, followed by Brazier and Manson in 3rd now, with Smith in 4th, Gilbertson in 5th, then the Regan Scholar car, Sachs. Walls made it up. He made the pass in that Class 5, past Thomas Mallard, and then Andrew Turner in the BMW.
So I think something to look at there. So the Gilbertson McIntyre car is in. I've lost the column on here.
Gilbert's 5th. Are the classes?
Yeah, the classes. I've somehow lost. Oh no, here we go. Here's the classes there. Right, so we actually only have 2 cars in Class 2, and that is the Gilbertson McIntyre car. The front 4 cars are all in Class 1. Then we've got Gilbertson McIntyre in their
Class 2.
Yeah, Class 2 car with Hodson and Scholar just behind them by about 9 seconds at this point in time. Then we're back to the only car in Class 3. Oh, sorry, no, there are 2 cars in Class 3. James Sachs, Sam Mitchell in the Mercedes-Benz, and Andrew Turner and Steve Benenbrook in the BMW, but they're currently running 10th, whereas Sachs and Waddell are 7th. And then the 2 Class 5 cars there are Wall, Hammond, Thomason, and Mallard. So, what's that gap? Actually, let's keep an eye on that gap between Thomas and.
Yeah, we can see them in the background on the shot there.
Yeah.
Wall with those slicks is going to take advantage of that advantage, and that Honda does have a little bit more horsepower than us, so Thomas is going to have to work through the infield. But once those slick tyres start working, we won't have the advantage there either. So it's going to be tough driving for us for the rest of it. But we're going to try and work some strategy. We're trying to find a safety car at some stage to get us a free stop because we're probably about 5 laps short on only doing it on 2 stops.
Fair enough. So
we want to sneak a little sneaky safety car at some stage to help us out. Yeah, well, I'll claim that when I'm slower than Thomas, that I was fuel saving, Mark, and I'll change my gears. Isn't he the master of the fuel save? Isn't it incredible how well, and he can still keep his pace and get that number of laps out of a tank. You're seeing everyone else falling over, and he gets there. He is the absolute or Indy car and probably nearly any Class Master. As we see the Gilbertson car now catching up to the Class 5 cars, they're going to start to be hurting on this rubber now. This is going to start to get painful on this very dry lines.
Just here with John McIntyre. Question of the day for now is, how long can these guys go around when it's dry on the wet tyre?
Well, it's a little bit specific on each car, but there's sort of a time when if you start losing tread out of the tyre, it starts chunking and falling apart. That's when you're in trouble. But I think that's a little way away because we've had such a wet day. There will still be enough wet on the side of the circuit to cool the tyres down. And really, it probably comes down to the leader with Fillmore. He's plateaued on his lap time. He's come down to a 43, and then he's actually slowed up a little bit. So whether he's trying to conserve, and no one wants to be the first in the lane to put slicks on unless you're going to get a big advantage. So yeah, real waiting game. But if those tyres start falling apart, then you've got to come straight in.
So we'll see guys like searching for water on the track?
Absolutely, yeah, left and right hand side. Yeah, you've just got, it's all about temperature. Obviously the surface of the tyre, the pressure goes up, but it's the surface, the blocks on the tyre move a lot more obviously on a wet, and when they start getting really, really hot and move a lot, then they just throw themselves apart. They don't want to be there anymore.
So you're manually doing some lap times there. Why do you do that for?
Oh, not manually, we just use the Speed Hive timing here, but I've always been brought up with writing every single lap down, and it's always very useful, and then you can write little notes about if you got held up in traffic or there's an incident, writing down temperatures in the car. We don't have telemetry set up yet. This car has that enabled, but that might be a work on for next year.
So yeah, that's a really good point, and that's something that you learned from Dad, or what was the...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Dad's great at writing everything down. He taught me from it. He's got every car he's had, Anglias, Escorts, all these things. There's a book that goes with every single car, and every time you're out there, you know all the pressures, what the temps were, what the day was, and it's really, really cool. So
have you still got that from your New Zealand V8 days?
Yes, it actually went with the car when I sold it, but the guy got the whole shooting box, every round we ever did, every race, every little comment, good and bad. And yeah, all the information. It's an information game.
Wow, amazing. All right, well, we'll just keep an eye on those cars, and when we start seeing them squiggle, we'll probably see them come through, right?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be too far away unless there's a shower that comes over. But yeah, after a while, it's not a lot of fun driving on a drying track, so they'll probably get bored of it too.
All right, well, we'll go back up to the commentary team, and they'll keep their eyes out for who's finding the water and who's not.
Okay, that was there from...
Yeah, he's talking about how the tyres fall apart and other things like that, and that is happening right now out there on track, as they're going to start looking for more and more water. There's our leader, Sam Fillmore, but Luke Madson's the fastest man on the track. He was 1.7 seconds faster last lap than Fillmore, and he's got the gap down to 28 seconds, so it's going to take a few of those laps to bring him back, but he is starting the claw back now.
I think he's probably a bit angry with himself and just got the bit between his teeth now.
He's just got to be careful he doesn't overuse that tyre and give himself nothing left of it, because he's got to get through to the pit stop windows for him to do his 2 stints so he can pass it over to young James Penrose.
Yeah, so it's because with a 3 hour, these cars all do the but now hang on a minute, Mark's got something on this about the minimum amount of time the elite drivers are allowed to drive, and the AM drivers, it doesn't quite work out for them to do 3 equals to 1 hour each, does it?
They can.
Yeah.
Is that slowing? Sorry?
It is slowing too.
Yeah, very slow down that straight. And look, is that a rear tyre or something?
Yeah. He's got a flat rear tyre.
Flat rear tyre.
So now
it's coming off though too. Like it might cause enough debris on the track to cause us a safety car if that rim comes off the rim in the wrong spot and flicks off and is on the racing line. He's slowly coming around.
He was on wets, wasn't he, Mark?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what's happened. He's overcooked it, I think, and they've just gone dead on him.
He was fastest man on track.
Yeah.
I think
He did a 41.3, which is 2 seconds faster than pretty much anyone else on track has been at all. So really was pushing there, and it would be strange the tyre would go right after that sort of a quick lap, but maybe he's just put too much through it, or whatever, or picked up a guard rub when he had that little off, or something else.
Well, I mean, let's face it, he's been pushing since he had the off, so
This is going to cost him a lap.
Yep. Because it's a bit of a juggling act and trying to get the car back to the pits
Look
without
how much
damaging
that wing
it.
is moving around with all the shaking that's going on that car. Yeah, it comes off the rim. We could have a safety car. Big surprise. Definitely got to a slick.
Well, I'd say it'd be crazy to go out on another set of wets. There's enough dry line around here at the moment, and it's not like there's a lot of cars that you're going to have to go offline for. But, okay.
Yep, that slick's out there now. So the Fast Files team there ready to.
And there's another team also about ready to come in as well. So who's that? There's somebody else coming in for. Got their it could be the DeVeth car coming in.
The Saxon Wall cars. They're starting to wear out the tyres. We see the Saxon Wall car now 3 seconds a lap slower. Look at all that damage they've got to clear out of there. That is one sick-looking Michelin.
Yep.
Here comes Sax. He's coming in as well. He's been very slow that last lap, so I think he's worn out his tyres as well.
Yeah, they're fixing.
Yeah, they're fixing that rear guard, as we can see on the.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage under the back of that car.
They're getting the wheel back on now, though. Let's see. Now this is going to be interesting. This is going to tell us a lot for these other team drivers, because it's too early to go to have a scheduled pit stop now. Even if you want to change over to dries, you're going to have to last a little bit longer. But what's the pace? We're going to get to see what the pace of a true slick is versus these other guys, and I think you're going to see a couple of seconds, 3-4 seconds a lap faster from it.
Well, I think once we get a good dry line around there, I think we're going to see 34s, 35s, no problem at all. You look at what the lead cars were doing in the 1 hour. They were down at the 37s. There's our current lead car about to put a lap on the.
It's the
Thomas
third lap, I think.
car.
Yeah, it's third lap down. Thomas is.
Here comes the.
Sax car. Is that still in pit lane? Yeah, it's still in pit lane. They're still taking off the wheels to put on slicks. So. Going to get to make a pass here, John.
Yep, I think so.
As they were still working in pit lane on the GT4. As we see Hodson in the car into the pits as well. That is Scholar, because there's Hodson in the background. Watch it. They're looking to change 2 dry tyres.
Yeah, so they're.
Yeah,
Actually, it was, yeah. So.
Takes a little bit longer to get that sorted.
So here's our lead car now. That's coming around Swampy's curves. Yeah.
I'm not too sure if many will, because of that slow lap. Will give them a good advantage to take some time to do it, and they will want to get into the 2 fuel windows. That's going to be the key for them, as they're working backwards from the end of this race, and they need to get through to the hour 50 sort of mark before they put it over to their pro drivers.
Absolutely. So we're just watching our leader go down through the Porsche dipper now, heading off down towards the trade zone sweeper. Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably got, if he sees that, he's probably got 2 laps before he's going to need to start to think about coming in. Because Manson would have lost about 40 seconds. So if they leave it 4 or 5 laps, then that will be too much. And yeah, they're going to have 1 or 2 laps to be able to do it.
Now, I don't...
So he's got about 5 minutes. He's got to get it through for the next 7 minutes, and then he will ice a pit stop, because Manson's going to need 1 more pit stop than him now to get through to the end. Manson will still probably have 2 stops from this point in the race, and that will allow Fillmore to get the advantage if he does not lose too much. But we see the purples on the timing screen with the last 2 sectors, fastest sectors of the race, there by Luke Manson. So we will see some fast times coming from that car as he gets that car quicker and quicker and quicker.
I'm just here with Ayrton Hodgson, who's in the Porsche that just came through for their first pit stop, so wets to dries.
Yeah, we saw that Audi deflaminated tyre, so we thought we'd better act on it quickly and put some green slicks on.
And one of the tyres looked like it was pretty well worn, right?
Yeah, they're all pretty well worn. It's pretty dry out there now, and when it gets dry on wet tyres, they wear pretty quick.
And so tell us, for the people that don't know, what you're driving and your sort of background to coming here today.
Yeah, so we're in a Porsche 901.1, so yeah, Generation 1 car compared to a lot of the Generation 2 cars that were in the 1 hour. Last year I did 1 round of GT New Zealand, won the 1 hour there, which was pretty cool. Great battle with Rick Armstrong, and this year headed to Australia, done 2 rounds of Porsche Michelin Sprint Cup so far, and got the next round at Townsville with Supercars at the start of next month.
So basically this is just a chance to have a good hit out and get a good stint in the car.
Yeah, it's all miles, like the cars are fairly similar, so yeah, a 3 hour gives you lots of laps, and yeah, a great way to get laps under your belt.
And so will you two just share the obviously with the pro and the amateur, how does that work for you guys?
Yeah, since I've done a couple rounds of Sprint Challenge, I'm classified as an elite driver now, so I'm actually only allowed to do 70 minutes, which is unfortunate. So yeah, Regan's going to do an hour 50 straight, which will be a big stint for him, and I'll jump in and bring it to the end.
And so how do you, and like obviously that's a very fast car, but you're in amongst very, very fast cars. How do you handle the race pace and just keep your eyes forward when you've got fast cars coming through?
Yeah, it's all about being consistent, and we've only got 1 other car in our class, so it's trying to stay ahead of them. And I think Regan's doing a good job at running that back down. We had a bit of an awkward start, so yeah, Regan's doing a great job out there, and we'll see where we end up at the end of the race.
Awesome. Well, good luck. And so when do you think you'll need fuel?
We did a little splash and dash there, and then when he comes, he'll come in again with about an hour and a bit to go, and we'll fill it up again and go from there.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we see you at the end of the race, and good luck for the class.
Sweet, thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, back to you guys up in the tower.
Yeah, there we go. Well, that was happening. It was a great little scrap going on there as Luke Manson was trying to get past Glenn Smith. But in that process, he managed to put in a 1:39.46, which is basically 3.5 seconds faster than anybody else on track. So he's now on slicks, and Fillmore's still on wets, but he has got an advantage of just over 40 seconds between. Just trying to bring him up now. I lost it. Sorry. Yeah, Grant Brazier, yes. So there's 40 seconds in arrears of this one. The car we see on screen, which is our lead car. Here comes the Manson machine.
Well, I've just seen we've ticked through the 30-minute mark, and I've promised my team I better go back, so I'll be back hopefully for the last half an hour if everything goes well with my team. But it's been an action-packed first 30 minutes, and while I'm looking out at the weather, I see a couple of clouds, so I'm going to do an anti-rain dance with the current set of tyres we've got on that thing. Well,
we wish you the best of luck out there, Mark, and we look forward to seeing you back with a smile on your face at the last half an hour to go.
Probably tired after an hour of running in that car, but yeah,
there we go.
I'm getting old.
There we go. So. Okay, so we're here with a bit of a scrap going on here between the two Class 3 cars of Gilbertson and Hodgson. Oh no, it's is it Regan Schooler in the car there, isn't it? I think.
Yes. It's Regan in the car. And that's a later model car than the Gilbertson car.
Okay, so let's have a look and see how things are panning out on the screen now. Let them all get through one lap here, and then we can square it all up and see where everybody's sitting at. At the moment, Sam Fillmore's got a very healthy lead of 21 seconds over the Lamborghini Huracan of Glenn Brazier and Andrew Waite. Then I think Luke Manson's going to be the next one through, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Glenn Brazier definitely looking for patches of wet to cool those wet weather tyres down there, obviously overheating.
Well, Luke Manson's just gone through again with a 1:38.344. So whilst he's the fastest man on track, car number 28's got an issue here. Time penalty for car number 28, which is the Hodgson score, and I'm betting that is for pit lane speeding. So I'll just double check that with the race control. Well, you wouldn't believe it, Mark. It's a bit of a rookie mistake. He crossed the blend line, and a 10-second penalty.
Yes, well, he'll rue that because he's been doing very well.
Yeah. So it's so I now you're a bit more up on the rules than I am. So that 10 seconds, he'll serve that at his next pit stop, won't he?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that'd be the simplest way of doing it. So
he does have the option to carry on. But I mean, it'd be silly not to serve it at the first opportunity.
absolutely, yeah, get it out of the way. So and
We can see Mark Mallard loitering down there.
oh, that's right. Yeah, so he's in the he's the no mates. He's there by himself. So it's,
And we see slick tyres being ready for the Gilbertson car, and he'll stay in the car, and I'll be in this lap to switch to slick tyres.
they've been a good team, those Johnny Mack and Simon Gilbertson. They've been together for a long time. They've been racing as a pair for must be coming up 10 years, I'm thinking.
Yes, but they haven't raced together for the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is the first season that they're back together.
Yeah. Oh no, they're coming in for their pit stop now.
Yeah.
And it's a cool looking car, that. It's
Manthray 991 Gen 1. It's interesting, not fueling from an overhead rig.
yes.
Using a 20-litre dump chute. That's all they're putting in it, 20 litres. The longest thing now is
Tyre change.
tyre change.
20 litres, that's... I suppose that must be... I would assume it would have used more than 20 litres of that last one. Luke Manson, another fastest lap for him, 1:35.492. So he's getting down into the times now that one would expect on a dry track. They would be probably looking at, on a super dry track, I would say probably high 32s, low 33s, wouldn't you say, Mark? On a very dry track.
For the Audi?
Mm-hmm.
No, more like a 130.
130 down that low. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the elite club.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah.
But Manson will be in the 31-32s.
Yeah, so he's so it's actually a great shot, that one, looking down that straight. Here comes young Thomas Mallard. Oh, there's a big black cloud over the back of us there, looking down towards Tikawata. So that'll go past us, that one. That won't hit us. Through the
Which one's that?
that one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll go over Lake Waikato. It won't hit us. So just looking at the sky out of the window here over the top of the apartments. There's a bit of a black cloud out there, but that's heading southeast at this point in time. So running on the order on the road, let's have a look. So we've got Sam Gilmore and Dan Gaunt currently leading the race by 22.5 seconds over Glenn Brazier and Andrew Waite. Glenn Brazier in the car at the moment, Sam Fillmore in the car. Then we go back to position 3, which is car 91, Glenn Smith, John DeVeth and Damon Leach. Glenn Smith in the car.
One lap down.
One lap down, and then Luke, right in behind them, it's Luke Manson, James Penrose, with Luke in the car at the moment, and they are a further lap down. Yes, they are. And then it's Simon Gilbertson, Johnny McIntyre, with Simon Gilbertson in the car, and first of the Class 2 cars, and they're currently sitting in 5th position. And then we go back to Ayrton Hodgson and Reagan Scholar, with Reagan in the car at the moment, with 6th position, but they have got a 10-second penalty, and our leader's in. So we're looking for our leader into pit lane at this point in time. And he'll be coming in for
a splash and to get off those wet tyres.
Put some nice sticky, beautifully stopped right on the button there.
Fuel going in, tyres coming off.
And the Brazier Gaunt machine in as well.
It really forced Glenn to follow the same strategy.
No, absolutely not. So, but look at that. Basically, they had a whole pit stop in hand.
Yep. So Phillimore's back down pit lane and exiting at the bottom of turn 1 as we speak.
Yep. So whilst we're looking on screen there at our 3rd place car at the moment. Oh no, that's actually our 6th place down with Regan Scholar there. And
so we would expect the Glenn Smith McLaren to follow that same move to get off those wet tyres.
Oh, hello, time penalty, car number 18. So that is Gilbertson McIntyre car. Now what that's for, because they've been in the pits. Let me just check that out with race control and see what. Well, it appears that somebody else making a rookie mistake. Blend line, crossed it, and 10-second penalty. So that evens things out in Class 2, because they both got a 10-second penalty. So Manson, another fastest lap for him. What's he done this time? 1:35.5 from 35.3. Yep. As we're watching the Gilbertson McIntyre car, and here is Glenn Smith in the, and that McLaren's going to have to be coming in for.
Well, I think if they come in the next couple of minutes, next couple of laps, they'll change drivers. DeVith will go in along with Setter.
Which is probably what they're waiting for. So hang on, how long have they been out in the car? So 42 minutes. They're going to try to go over the hour, but they've just lost. Well, they haven't lost position.
No, with the 3-driver strategy, they can afford to do this.
Yeah, okay. Somebody's going to have to stay in longer than everybody else then.
Well, John DeVeth well, it has to do between the two, between Smith and DeVeth.
Well, they're not coming in.
No, I'll probably try to leave it to 45 seconds.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they will come in very soon.
Yeah. So, because that was the. It was a schooler car just unlapping themselves from. Yeah, they were just unlapping themselves from the Smith DeVeth car, which is currently running in second position, but hasn't done its pit stop. And another fastest lap from Mr. Manson, and what's he done this time? 1:34.881. So clearly the track's getting better and better, Mark.
Yes, it's ramping up. No question.
Now this is going to be interesting here. So there we go. So that's tyres for you.
Yep. Brazier on the slicks, and Smith must come in. They're losing heaps of time. They're dumping a lot of time staying on those wets.
So, as you say, they're trying to stretch it as long as they can. Well, they're 44 minutes now, so it's probably better to do it this lap because.
Well, they're just losing so much time. They really need to come in.
So. Watching, so what's going to happen? Are they going to come in this lap? Let's have a look. Doesn't look like he's going to the outside. It doesn't look like he's. Oh, is he coming across? No, they're going to go around again. Oh well.
I'll probably get told off by the team, but I just don't understand that strategy.
No. So, you know, I must admit, I'm sort of a bit bemused by it myself. It's a case of, well, you know, you've got three drivers there. It's not like the car can't go for more than an hour on a tank of fuel.
I thought they wanted to get to 45 seconds, so perhaps it's this lap. I did talk to the team just prior to the race, saying safety car or any reason that they got to 45 seconds, they'd switch.
45 minutes, you mean?
45 minutes, sorry.
Yes.
John?
So, yeah, so, and I was right about our weather. It's gone right round us. So here we go, down through the Golden Homes hairpin, climbing up the hill before they drop over the rise down into the Porsche Dipper. Are they going to stop this time? Let's have a look. So through the Porsche Dipper they go, out onto the Dale ITM straight.
I can see them lined up, so they're John DeVeth's standing there ready to go. The tyres are out, laid out, so yep, they wanted to get to that 45 minutes, and that's what the team said to me before the race, so they're right on cue.
Yep, yes. So, John, I see John pit lane there. Right down to 40 kilometres an hour.
Another fastest lap from Manson, down to 34.138.
Yeah, he's just getting quicker as the day goes on, I'm thinking. So, and they are doing the driver change as well, so Glenn's out.
John DeVeth.
Yeah, but that makes me laugh with these guys is they don't use a seat insert. And when you consider the height difference between the two of them, it's quite incredible how they managed to get away with that. So John doesn't seem to bother me. So, because he's about 6'3".
Okay.
Right, so let's
pit stop finish.
Okay, Luke Manson's just banging the 134.108, apparently, according to our screen there. And there's the Mallard machine. Is that, how far away is that before we see the changeover between from?
Well, he'll ride for an hour and 50. and that 86 should get to maybe they need fuel. I would have thought they could do close to 2 hours with a standard fuel tank.
So here is our, now what position is he leading? No, they're still in. No, they're still leading. So Fillmore Gaunt still leading in the Audi.
Yeah, so they got a 32-second gap to second place.
Further 15 seconds back is third place, the Manson Penrose machine.
And the Wall Honda is now in pit lane. So refueling. A slow refuel. It's just a churn. Well, not even a churn, really.
Camera getting a bit carried away there, so just trying to figure out where we are at this point in time. That's down into the trade zone sweeper. That is Johnny DeVeth. Take him a couple of laps to get up to speed, but once he's up there, I think we could see some good times come out of him. He's definitely a quick peddler.
Well, he put it on pole at Taupo.
He did, yes,
and really drove away at Taupo. So. Yeah, he's a bit of a specialist here at Hampton Downs too, so...
Just there with Glenn Smith, who's just got out of the McLaren. Longest stint on the wet tyre of all of the leading cars.
Yeah, we had to. Basically, I did my 45-minute mark, so they just said keep driving.
How was that? How did they feel?
Oh, that was shit. It was just absolute rubbish. Yeah, I struggled the whole stint.
Right, so you just were just sort of marking time?
Yeah, well now we're back on the slicks. Johnny's going to do his stint and we put the Rockstar at the end and see where we end up.
All right, so not too bad, considering some other people have delaminated tyres and stuff, so you made it through that time.
Yeah, I was trying to look after them as best you can.
So basically it was just a whole session of not going as fast as you wanted to.
Well, you just try not to slide too much, you know. Once it's sliding, you...
And on the long track, I mean, obviously you've done a little bit of time not on the wets earlier in the day, yeah?
We went out there with slicks in the qualifying, which was wet. It just didn't quite dry up for us, so no, it's car's feeling good though, I think.
Right, so you went slicks in the wet and then you had wets in the dry.
Tell me about it.
Bit frustrating, but if the car's feeling good, you know it's going to come on through the day.
It'll be good, so see how we end up.
Awesome. All right, we'll have a rest, and we've got another 45 minutes in that car, and the third driver will get in, so go back out on track and see what's happening.
That's my headset. That was a bit of interesting there. So we'll see how Johnny goes. He's a good quick driver, so oh, absolutely. That'll bring the whole lot back together because they are all currently on the same lap. So well, the front four are. Actually, no. Smith DeVethco is 1 lap down at this point in time. So and that damage would have been done while they were wobbling around on those wets. But as Ben said, he didn't really have much choice. He had to hold the thing to keep the thing together as much as he could because otherwise they weren't going to make all their times. So
yeah, it was a strategy. They needed to get to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And they limped to 45 minutes. Yeah. So that cost them. But as I said, a safety car could change the whole thing.
Then again, I suppose you've got to weigh that up against if they had come in earlier, they probably would have ended up doing. How much time does that lose you? I think it's about 35 seconds or 40 seconds around here. By the time you drive down pit lane, do the stop and get out again.
Oh, it's over a minute.
Is it over a minute? Is it? Yeah. Okay. So it's better than the devil you know than the devil you don't. There's the Nortec Electronics BMW. That used to be the family saloon, that car, and and
Been repurposed. Real situation here. A road car is trying to enter the circuit.
yeah.
Bizarre.
Now, last time I heard that happen was at Oran Park in 1973, when a spectator stole a Valiant Pacer out of the car park and drove it out onto the track in the middle of a touring car race. That's. But anyway. Okay, so here we go. We've got Luke Manson now about to put a lap on the Gilbertson McIntyre machine. And he does that with ease. So let's have a look now. So John's probably settled into the car now, so let's just see what sort of lap times he's
And
putting
just
in.
done the fastest lap
Yeah,
time.
you thought that was going to happen sooner or
Yeah.
later. 1:33.968. That Audi is fast. Sorry, that McLaren is fast.
Yeah, and they do have the luxury of being able to run it on a higher boost setting, particularly as they would put more fuel in at that point. So
Yes.
they probably got a little bit of reserve there, but I think he'll just continue to get faster. The gap between Brazier in second and Luke Manson in third has come down.
So it's just on 4 seconds now, isn't it?
It was 6 seconds last lap, so yeah, Luke Manson's doing a great job there, pulling back Glenn Brazier at better than a second a lap.
He's certainly on a mission.
Yeah, well, he's nearly 2 seconds faster on that lap, that last lap.
So he is our third place car at the moment. Oh, no, sorry, fourth place car at the moment. But he's still a 1 lap down, so they've still got to get past. They've still got to pray for a safety car, I think.
Yeah, they need a safety car.
Yep. Of course, with a dry track and not a lot of cars on the circuit at the moment, the chances of a safety car are not great.
Well, they are remote, but it's happened before, John, as we know.
Hello, we've now had a change for second place.
Yeah, so that's a rather dramatic loss of time, yes, there's been a change there with Luke Manson passing Glenn Brazier, so the Audi has passed the Lamborghini.
While that happened, Johnny DeVeth put in another fastest lap, this time at a 1:33.484. So he's got the bit between his teeth. As you say, got the luxury now, probably of, as you say, a bit more boost. And so I think this 3-hour format works out really well for a 3-driver team.
Yes, I think it's a good strategy. Very,
Yeah.
good, very good strategy.
Especially when you're bringing in a driver like Damon Leach for your last...
For your last 70 minutes.
yeah, exactly. So...
New tyres and plenty of fuel.
Yep.
Go for it.
Exactly. Yeah, so, box, there we go.
Oh, yes.
So this is the one of interest. He's
Now does Thomas stay?
funny story about Thomas. He helped. I did an endurance race at Waikato in the BMW, and he was helping my co-driver to get me out of the car. They both pulled me out of the car, and my overalls got hooked up on the steering column.
Ah.
So they're pulling like hell. I mean, he was only 16 at the time, but boy, he's a strong lad. He's a big boy. So team getting him all sorted out. Crew at Race Lab looking after them.
Can we have a chat?
So here's our lead car around Golden Homes hairpin.
And fastest in sector 1 for Luke Manson, so
Okay.
yeah, I mean that gaps at 39 seconds between lead car and second place Luke Manson.
Yeah, that's realistically, he's got to go a second lap faster for 39 laps to catch him. So,
And we're
coming up for an hour.
coming up for an hour.
So an hour, and it'll be at the hour mark. And they would have completed 33 laps. Well, I assume it's going to stay dry for the rest of the race. We'll probably get a couple more laps out of an hour. So, yeah, they've got to, as long as Fillmore and Gaunt keep that thing circulating nice and smoothly, they're in a very strong position.
It's going to come down to fitness and concentration between Sam and Luke, and I don't know how much training they do, but
Sam actually apparently has been doing a lot of training lately. I was having a chat to him a while back, and he said he's really putting a lot of effort into it.
So there goes our friend and sponsor, Mark Mallard, and the Cream Insurance 2886.
Yeah, he's doing well here today, Mark. He's a co-commentator, a series sponsor, and a race driver as well. So, and a dad.
Yep.
So
if you need a friendly insurance company, phone Cream Insurance.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you've got a classic, historic, or a race car, Mark is definitely the guy to contact. And so we're back to Mark just getting past there by Regan Schooler and the Porsche, and with Gilbertson not too far behind. Let's have a look at that gap there actually between those two. There's only 2 seconds difference between the between Schooler and Gilbertson, and they both have a 10-second penalty. So this is a even Stevens fight between these two guys.
So Manson's the fastest car on track with a 133.578.
Yep, Johnny DeVest second quickest.
Thomas Mallard, who's obviously in the Cream Insurance, the sponsor for the round car. He had a really good battle there with the Honda.
Yeah, it was good at the start. He was on the slicks, so I had a bit of an advantage, and then he just had so much more power down the straights that it was just ridiculous, so I couldn't really keep up with him.
You spent a few laps having a good battle though.
Yeah, it was good. Then the lap cars kind of came around, so we had to let them pass, but I tried to hold them off for as long as I could, but unfortunately the 86 isn't the fastest in the straights, so yeah.
So tell me, for someone like yourself, I mean, it's great racing with Dad, but what do you take out of a weekend like this in a slower car?
Just that motorsport can be fun no matter what car you're running, like whether you're running against GT3s and coming last, or whether you're winning the race, you know, it's always fun. So that's mainly what it's about, and beating Dad, I guess, is the best part, so yeah.
So who's quicker?
Me, obviously.
And he'll be going out there now to try and improve on the stuff, but you had the wet, so...
Yeah, exactly. I've got an excuse just in case he does beat me, but hopefully he doesn't.
So tell me, when he left the lane, it took quite a while to get the car going. Do you know what happened there?
Probably just the traction control wasn't turning off, so he just needs to wait for that, and then the creeping was probably not helping it at all, but yeah, oh well.
So that's just no issue, just something that's...
No issue, just a procedural thing, I guess.
So how do you, in a car like this, how do you do a strategy, like for how long you're in the car and fuel and that type of thing?
Well, we were kind of hoping for a safety car, to be honest, but yeah, we kind of just run till it runs out of gas, and we were on like 3 litres to go, so we boxed. Yeah, I just pushed as hard as I could. No flat shifting after last time, or after we blew the gearbox, so yeah, it was good.
So basically, will you, you're out as Dad in the car for the rest of the time, you're going to get back in?
He'll go on for an hour. He's not exactly fit enough to last the full rest of the race, so I'm going to do the final hour, but that's the plan so far, unless something bad happens, but yep.
And so what are you looking, apart from having fun with Dad in an 86, what are you looking to do with your racing?
Well, don't know yet, to be honest. I honestly don't know. depends how I go in the 86 next season in the new car. But yeah, just looking to have fun right now.
So yeah, talk us through that. Obviously, this is the oldest spec 86. What happens from here for the 86 class, and what you're doing with it?
Well, we've put our name in to buy the new car, so we're going to get that on October 1st, and then yeah, just run that season, see how we go. Run with the boys at Race Lab. They've done an amazing job setting up the car this weekend as well, and then yeah. So yeah, just see how it goes.
Cool, awesome. Well, we'll see that next change, and we'll put the stopwatch on and see who's got the fastest time at the end of the race.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys in the commentary team.
Yeah, well, that was Adam talking to
Thomas.
Let's turn the TV volume down here, so okay, it's feeding back through the screen. So yeah, so Adam talking to Thomas Mallard. He's going to leave the dad in the car for about an hour apparently, and then he's going to hop in it and finish the last hour off for himself. So very talented. Well, you know, he's a talented young fellow. Luke Manson just bangs in another fastest lap. This time it's a 1:33.196. So is Johnny Devath going to respond to that? Let's wait and see.
Well, it's more Sam Fillimore responding with respect, John, because that gap has come down to 34 seconds.
Yeah, true, it has. And but that's still, let's see, what's the difference between the two of them? Let's have a look. So it's about a second a lap. So if he keeps it up, he's going to be with him in 34 laps. So really, it's
well, we're just coming up to 1 hour,
4 minutes.
4 minutes, and so they've got another 46 minutes to drive.
Yeah. Yeah. So
if he can chisel away there, he'll close the gap up, and then of course the elite drivers get in, and then you've got you'll have a real battle between Dan Gaunt, who's probably a little bit more rusty than what James
Penrose is, yeah.
Yeah, James has sort of had the last 2 meetings plus a lot of.
Yeah, I don't think Dan's had a pedal this year and anything, so.
Well, he's certainly done a lot of laps around here, so.
Well, of course, he runs the running Toyota's Hampton Downs' academy.
Right.
For Tony Quinn and co. And he does get out, have the odd skid himself. And he's a very, very talented driver, as Dan. I mean, he don't win 3 New Zealand Grand Prix for no reason at all. And
and he was also a top driver when he was competing in the Australian GT Championship.
That's right. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
In the Kentucky Fried Chicken sponsor Audi R8.
Oh right, yeah, I remember that. So it's a bit of a light flash going on there from Mr. Manson to let Mark know that he's coming. And Mark steps sideways and lets him fly through the gap. So.
Well, apart from just a few little damp patches, you'd call this track dry.
Absolutely. So let me just, so whilst we're doing that, I'm just going to check our weather forecast again just to see how we're placed with that. And I don't think much has changed since the last one. No, we're still pretty much the way it is. Sunset tonight is 5:08 p.m. and there is no rain before then, according to our screen. Well, sorry, I do apologise. There's a 4% at 3 o'clock, 5% chance, and 12% at 5. I think we're relatively safe for the rest of the afternoon. So there's that battle for Class 2 again, Mark, with the
Gilbertson car.
Yeah, so they've been glued together for quite some laps now. So and it's just a matter of that next stop. They're both going to be sitting there for 10 seconds extra. Or 2 more. They'd have 2 more stops, won't they?
Well, yes, they will, because Johnny's got to get in the car. Well, they might get away with one more stop.
Yeah, so. Just trying to figure out how long they're going to stretch that thing. So what are we now? We're only just over an hour, so we're coming up to an hour 9 or hour 10.
But they only put 20 litres in it.
Yeah, but I wonder how much was in it before it started.
Well, it would have been full.
Yeah.
And maybe that was maybe it was a 40 litre tune. I didn't get a good look.
It was a pretty big lump.
Okay, so
yeah, actually it was, because I've got one at home. It was a 40 litre.
A lot of 40 litres. Yeah. So they they'd have been close to full. And that car can run easily for an hour and 45.
Mm. So yeah, that was probably what you'd call a splash and dash, I guess.
Mm.
So
mainly just to get off the wet tyres and throw some fuel at the same time.
Yep.
So he is closing down. Yeah, Simon Gilbertson's doing a good job.
Here's the leader coming up behind them. That's the worst nightmare of every leader. Guys you're chasing and trying to get past somebody who's going even slower as well. That can get ugly really quickly. Now, unfortunately, Simon's lost a lot of ground out of that.
Yeah, being very polite, letting Luke through.
Yeah. Mind you, it's a long race. And as you say, the reality of it is probably they might get to a point where they only do the one pit stop. One more pit stop, Johnny's in, and that's it and gone.
Well, 2 total, which is what you would normally expect.
Yes.
But they had
They've
that
done one.
They had that early one.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, if they can get it out to 1 hour 50, then McIntyre will be able to bring it home.
So just for the folks at home, refreshers as to what the minimum lap times are for the elites and for the AMs.
Yeah, so the elites maximum driving time is 70 minutes, which means that the AMs have to drive for 1 hour 50.
Mm-hmm. Right, there we go.
So another quick lap from Manson. So he's down into the 32s. So he's
getting there.
Yeah, and he's dropped that time, the gap down to 32 seconds.
He's opened up a gap of 19 seconds over the Lamborghini, so he's going fast. He's closed the gap down to Sam to 32.2. They've still got a lot of luxury, those guys at the front. So effectively they're driving the same car.
They are. They're for all intents and purposes identical, and they're run by the same team.
Yep. So
International Motorsport,
who are probably one of the more experienced teams out there, have been around for a long time.
The most experienced team in New Zealand.
Up the hill comes our second place man. Oh, Josie Spillane in pit lane there with a side up of Dan Gort, who happens to be sitting there, of course, for Josie and Tony, and so. The Audi there with his one tail light. Of course, that got broken with when that tyre was flailing around. It tore out the inner guard on it. That's when they did the pit stop. You were watching out the window, Mark, and we got the onboard TV view of it. It was the inner guard was all ripped out of it. They had to pull it all out of the way. So.
Yeah, I mean it's part of the car's aero because it's what we call tubbed in there, and if they've had to pull a section of that tubbing out, it won't help the performance of the aero, and won't affect it a lot. As you can see, he's still the fastest on track. Having said that, Deveth is pushing on.
Yeah, he's just done the fastest first quarter,
Yep.
and with an 8.13. So now I actually have to just refresh my memory as to what the sectors are in here, because they're different on the national track to the international track. And
I can't help you there, John, on certain where the sectors start and finish.
yeah, well, I know on the national track, Sector 1 starts from start line here to the top of the up and over, and they turn right halfway down this straight. And then Sector 3 is the Porsche Dipper, and Sector 4 is up, so obviously the finish line here again. But it's 3 sector finish line here. But on the main track, I'm not quite sure where it is. I've just got to try and pick that up and watch them as they go through and see if I can. Because I think there's a timing loop down by the club track.
I'm just here with the biggest fan, I think, of driver Dan Gaunt, who's just in front of us. And Josie is also the track CEO. Why are you a big Dan Gaunt fan?
Well, to be honest, Dan actually called me about a week ago and he's like, Jose, it's Dan. I've never been your favourite. Could I be your favourite for this weekend? So we actually ran a fan favourite competition for the Battle of the Pros, or the Princesses. So it was Dan, James, Andrew and Damon. And Dan voted for himself. The 3 game overs that he ran, he used their business accounts to vote for him. But he also did get Scott Dixon to vote for him as well. So a deal's a deal. So I have now got this banner that I need to carry around the circuit this weekend. He is my favourite for this weekend, but he is also paid for this campaign. So.
Well, there you go. I mean, if you're going to win, you got to win in style for the award, right?
Yeah, look, it's an awesome week. It's an awesome day out here. Obviously, Hampton's delivering the 4 seasons in one day. It's great for NIERDC to be finishing with 12 cars in the 3 hour. Obviously, we wish there were more, but the competition that's out there at the moment is close, and it's some great racing with the AMs. So really looking forward to seeing what the Princesses do towards the tail end of the racing today.
Why do you call them princesses?
Well, they are pros, so there's a lot of reasons. There'll be one person probably talking about how well they've done, and there'll be 3 others giving us all the excuses of why it's not their fault.
All right, well, I'll have to get a response from the princess.
Yeah.
So, Dan, apparently you voted for yourself.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Donald Trump voted for himself, so I heard all of that. That's a tough act to follow. She's basically spelt it out word for word how it all happened, so I've got no comeback.
Well, let's talk about the racing instead. You guys are doing okay at the moment.
Yeah, the racing's a bit easier to talk about. Sammy, what a legend. He's just trucking around. He's managing the gap, and obviously a good qualifying session. It was really close between him and Luke, and unfortunate for Luke in that first stint where you got a puncher, but it would have been a lot closer. A safety car, there's 4 cars still on the lead lap. Anything can happen.
So obviously it's pretty tough for the princess to sit and wait and watch.
Yeah, the prince or the princess.
She called you a princess,
yeah,
so
princess. The king. No, look, hey, I just feel really lucky to be here with such a cool environment, cool team, good track, and with Sammy doing the job, it's going to make my job with a little bit more pressure and hopefully a little bit easier.
So how do you find getting back into the GT car? I mean, obviously you've run in an Audi at the 12 hour, right? So is it just like, you're getting into an old, something you know a lot, or you have to really come back to it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it was just over a year ago we did the Bathurst 12 hour, and it brings back, there's like an old glove. We were lucky enough to test here last week. I haven't done a lot. I did about 3 laps bedding brakes this morning and then got rained out yesterday. So, but we were lucky enough to do a test last week. So the car's good. It feels like you're a little bit rusty to start with, but it feels like where you were at Bathurst 12 hour just over a year ago after a few laps.
And of course, you've done a lot of time around here, so you know it's. What do you think the weather's going to do for the end? It's starting to get a bit grey now.
Yeah, I mean we've had. We got an hour and 40 to go. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some rain at some point again.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you back. We'll see you in the car pretty soon.
Cool. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Dan, and go back to the commentary team and back to the track.
Well, there you go, Dan Gaunt. Getting a little bit of a rack up. The CEO, Josie Verlaine, and Dan. As you say, it's been a year since he's actually raced one of these things, but he has been doing a bit of testing over the last couple of weeks. So he'll get back up to speed, and I'd say a few laps, and he'll be back on it. But of course, James Penrose is about to get into this thing in about another 30 or 40 minutes. So then we'll see all the elite drivers out there, and it'll really fire things up. Looking forward to seeing...
in 30 minutes' time.
30 minutes, sorry, yeah. Looking forward to seeing Damon Leach in the McLaren, because with that extra boost that thing's got, he's still fighting one hand tied behind his back because they're a lap down. But that could change if there's a safety car. I'll notice the BMW still going around out there. It's now got itself up into 8th position. Because Steve Benenbrook will be the elite driver in that team. Here's the Scholar Porsche there, and still in front of Gilbertson in their Porsche, and the gap has opened up a little bit between the two of them. Let's have a look. So it's 3 and 3, just over 3 seconds, but for quite some laps there, Simon was right on Regan's tail. So here's Mr. Mallard coming down here into Trade Zone Sweeper. The Chrome Insurance Toyota 86. It's actually quite comical when you look at that, how much it moves around on its suspension compared to the GT cars. It really looks quite pedestrian. Here's the Nortec BMW. Yes, as I was saying, that was actually the Turner family's family car, saloon car. And then Andrew also used to campaign a car in the Central Muscle Car Series as well, a HDT replica Holden. And then of course, then he bought a TA2 car, and then he's decided to strip this thing out and turn it into an endurance car for him and his son to have a race in. And unfortunately, his son was coming down a bit crook over the last couple of days, so they've put the call out and hired in Steve Benenbrook. So back to our lead car, just coming down through the Porsche Dipper now, San Fillmore Dam Gaunt. And
interesting, the gap's gone back up, so Sam has responded, and yeah, he's now actually 32.7 is his fastest lap time.
Okay, so he has set the fastest lap of the race. Oh no, hang on, let me have a look. Yeah, it is actually. It's by a hundredth of a second. It's fastest lap by Sam. So he's maintaining that gap now. Probably had the word from pit lane saying, "Hey, listen, let's keep them at bay." Because as we were saying before, you've only got to get a safety car and all that goes right out the window.
Or you can have an incident during the pit stop.
Yep.
Wheel jams on, as we've seen many times, and you can lose 30 seconds real quick.
Absolutely. So it's a going through the double B now, climbing down off the international track into the national track as he heads down into the Golden Homes hairpin here, and they climb up the hill towards the crest as it drops down into the Porsche Dipper, and he'll come out of here, line her up on the Dale ITM straight, gives the flash of the lights to let Andrew know that he's coming. And then into the trade zone sweeper before he exits for the climb up the hill back to the start-finish line to chalk up another lap. And across the line he comes. 33.090 that time. So here's our third place car at the moment, the Glenn Brazier Andrew Waite car. And they are just off 26 seconds in arrears of the Manson Penrose machine.
He's got his indicator on for some reason. I don't know whether that's signalling in the pit or whether he's just bumped it.
More than likely bumped it. Seems to be a common occurrence. So one that's really annoying. Yeah, I see what you mean. One that's really annoying is when you bump the window wipers. Trying to find the switch to turn them off again. And if I saw correctly there, I think the Gilbertson had got back past Schooler, so pretty sure that's what I saw as it went past. Oh no, he's right on his tail though. So that fight's developing again. Here comes the Lamborghini Huracan. That typical Lamborghini wedge shape. Now there's that scrap between the two Porsches in Class 2. And Regan opened up a bit of a gap before, but it's now closed down again, and Simon's right back on his tail. So it's a very, very aggressive looking car, that Mante Racing 911.
You can see that there's no real difference in a straight line.
No.
The Manthe just has a larger wheel width in the front, and it's another inch wider, so it has a little more tyre on the front, and potentially and slightly better aero.
So and of course one's because the other car is a
991 Gen 2.
Yeah. This Mercedes has been quite quiet all day, currently circulating in 7th place.
Gilbertson's just tried to float. Didn't succeed, but
had a look.
Had a look down the inside. The door was smartly shut on them.
Because there's no way through around any this part of the track. So, and up into the double B. Heading down here now into. Of course, the thing is, this into turn 8 there, which is the Golden Homes hairpin. When they're using the national track, that's actually quite a common overtaking place. But when they're using the national track, when they're coming off the double B corner, they don't get the same run, so they can't really use that as a passing place anymore. Let's see what happens down here at turn 10. He's too far back. He's shadow him here up the hill, and seems to have lost a little bit of ground there. Okay, we have a BMW in the pits at the moment. So that's being changed over, so I think that'll be putting fuel in that car at the moment. Actually, it might have been the other way around. It may have been Steve in the car, but before. Just watching doing the driver change now. Oh no, that is Steve Benenbrook getting in the car now. I recognise the overalls. Refueling process going on. So, another one going. She drinks a lot of petrol, that BMW.
That'll be 80 litres.
They're getting the windscreen a bit of a wipe. Oh, this is quite a leisurely stop, really.
Yes, maybe a cup of tea.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
No time for a cupcake, though.
No, here we go. Now we're going to have another wipe now with another cloth. It's taking a lot of fuel in that car.
Yeah, they're checking to see how full it is, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got that catch tank in there, but they don't want to be a spill tank.
I'm just wondering why they wouldn't have filled it better. Well, okay. Okay, so we're now waiting for the Turner Benenbroek machine to leave the pit lane. I believe we now have Steve Benenbroek behind the wheel.
So that gap between Sam and Luke has stretched. It's now out to 41 seconds.
Okay. Sam putting his boot into it.
Well, he's definitely got the hammer down.
So what sort of times are you going to say? Yeah, he's 32s. He's down in 32s and looks like he's regularly doing 32s.
Well, he is. This is the fastest time of the race so far, 1:32.734.
While we're looking at the
So we've got
fourth place car coming down through the Porsche Dipper.
just under 20 minutes until the AM can get out of the car. He doesn't have to get out of the car, but he has to do 1 hour 50 minutes. So, yep, so in about 20 minutes, I would expect that they would do a tyre change and refuel and put Damon in the car
So how does that? So what you're saying? The AM driver's got to do 1 hour 50.
no, he can do longer. He should do a minimum of 1 hour 50.
So if you've got 2 AM drivers and one elite,
yeah,
how do you work that?
Well, the AMs can do whatever they like.
Yeah.
The only restriction
is they've got to do 150 between them.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
But they can do 160, 170, whatever.
Yeah, but I was just
but obviously, when you've got an elite driver, and here's Luke in the pits.
Yeah, so second place man in, and whilst that's happening, we have a little bit of weather arrived, and that's actually come in from the very unusual. That's actually come in from the north,
It's got dark all of a sudden.
Yeah, so
can't see any spitting on our window.
A little bit of rain out down towards turn 10.
Oh, so what have we got? Slick tyres going back on here.
Oh, there's not enough rain there. So they go to. All right, that's warming them up.
Yes, that's. I didn't expect that pit stop. There has to be a reason for it, but it was a bit unexpected.
But I didn't pick up whether they changed drivers or not.
No, well, they can't.
No, of course they can't. No, they're not up to that period of time.
Okay, so now we've got Sam coming in.
Okay. So they're just reacting, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
No,
and they're going to wets.
They're going to wets.
That's not a right. I wouldn't have, okay.
So
cool.
Sam must have gone. Luke must have gone to wets first.
Well, I think what they might be doing is they might be reacting to this. It's not really rain at the stages. And I can't.
Yeah, I mean that's they're a brave call from them both.
Absolutely. And this could play into the hands of.
Well, it depends what Glenn Brazier does. If he hangs out there for another 18 minutes, 17 minutes, and can make the change with Andrew Waite,
yeah,
and then, if necessary, go to the wets or stay on the slicks, they're going to gain a whole pit stop.
You're not wrong there. And to be honest with you, I mean, I'm looking at the weather behind us, and
maybe it's been spitting down on the track there.
Yeah, it's not wet enough. I can't see that, but okay. Hang on. So what I'll do is I'll go to the backup. I'll go to MetView and we'll have a look and see what the rain radar says.
Okay.
So
you do that, John, and I'll keep an eye on. Yeah, like Luke is definitely. Oh, yeah, Brazier's just gone. Interesting. Brazier is right behind Luke. Yes, it does look greasy in turn 2. Looks greasy in turn 2. And Luke pulled away sharply there on his wet rubber. So Brazier is going to have to make a decision here because there's obviously...
Oh, it's obviously raining down there.
Yeah. Wow. Goodness. Luke had a bit of a whoopsie and Glenn Brazier is right on his tail.
Okay, I think we're going to have the classic situation.
Well, the
here.
windscreen wipers are on Luke's car. They're also on Brazier's Lamborghini. So it's obviously dumping a little bit of precipitation. Oh, now the Gilbertson car's hit the wall.
Oh.
Here's a safety car unless he can get it going again.
As Mark rubs his hands together in glee, waiting to see some action.
Oh.
Well, I'm just looking at the...
Well, it's not glee. It's not.
No, but it's going to make some excitement. That's actually just a light touch. So
Yeah.
I'm just looking. There's your rain radar right there, and that's at 5 o'clock. So it shouldn't be here yet, but
No, rain, go away.
yeah, but it's here. So
Yep. The Manson was the first to react.
So here comes Regan Scholar in the pits.
They're switching. So they'll be
Well, they've got the advantage now that their competition has been delayed. We're having that loop around earlier on. Oh, sorry.
So
what's he got there? He's got
Action Motorsport guys.
They've got wets going on as well.
But they need to have another. They've got 14 more minutes before they can change over.
And we have a safety car.
Yeah. Okay. This is throwing the cat amongst the pigeons.
So what that's going to do is that's going to release Johnny DeVeth.
Yep, that's going to bring John right up.
Yeah, so he will be back on the back of this queue.
They'll wave him through.
They'll wave him, and they'll probably wave all of them through once.
The Gilbertson car's got off the wall, so this is going to be a very short safety car. Very short. And here the Sachs car is taking advantage of this. So they'll move in. Oh,
Whoa.
and Brazier has lost the back,
Okay.
kept it going, and he's on the grass, and He's actually done a 360 here, and he's still got...
I'll make it 720.
Oh, yeah, come on.
No, you do not want to be there.
Oh, this is not looking good for Glenn.
No.
It looks like he's stuck in the grass. Just cannot get any traction. He's going to dig himself a hole if he keeps going. This is a disaster for Glenn, and yep, they're going to have to get towed out of there.
So here comes the Gilbertson car. It's had that nose has looked a little bit bent.
Yeah, it's a bit second hand there.
Yeah, bit of race tape and
yep,
bit of tugging on the panel work should straighten it. It doesn't look like there's obviously no water coming out the front of it, so it hasn't damaged the radiators by the looks of things.
Yeah, it's a bit second hand there in the front, and if it's damaged the radiators, they'll have to park that car.
It doesn't appear to be dripping any water, Mark, so I think they might have got away with that. Obviously, they're double checking under there. We're going to have a pull that and make sure that's...
Yeah. So the Brazier car is firmly stuck, and they're going to have to...
Oh, that's actually... I thought that was off the Porsche tipper. It's not. That's actually off of the...
double bastard.
Yeah, the double bastard corner. So...
Yeah, they've got him going again. Yep.
He
might be able to stay on that lap.
Yeah, did they pass him?
So he didn't come into pit, so he'll definitely have to pit now.
Absolutely, yeah. So, well, the pit lane is alive, and who's that in there down the end there? Is that Mallard in there? I see there's the Sachs Mercedes about to leave pit lane now.
So Sam's in behind the pace car, and that lap traffic will be waved through at some point here.
Yep. So the question is, where's Luke? So I'm just... the Gilbertson car there, I think they're going to have a go at replacing that front splitter.
That's a reasonably big job. Maybe they're just going to try and...
Yeah, maybe try and jemmy it up. Well, here we go. The rain has added another twist to this story.
And so Glenn Brazier's in the pits in the Lamborghini, and they'll be changing tyres and putting fuel in it, but unfortunately he's got to stay in that car. It's just a shame for them, but just 10 minutes short of...
yeah, what a shame. But it adds spice to the mix.
Well, it's actually 18 minutes short of when he could have got out.
Okay, so... Right, so there's our lead car.
And they haven't waved the BMW through.
Not yet. They'll wait until everybody's in the queue, I think, before they do that. So Brazier out. That was a quick change for them.
So they're finally changing to wets on the Gilbertson car. But again, they're caught in that dilemma is that Simon Gilbertson has to stay in that car for another 18 minutes.
Rain arrived at the wrong time.
Yeah, your prediction was wrong, John.
Well, I must confess, I'm quite surprised because the...
Look how gloomy it's got suddenly. Yeah, I mean, just rain is coming in, and it was not predicted.
In all fairness, it's not even on the radar. So,
Yeah.
But it's actually now coming from the southwest. So,
yep. So
which is where the rain normally comes from around here.
Yeah. So has this played into Luke's hands?
Oh, more importantly, is it played into DeVeth's hands? Oh, they're in.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
They would need to because they were on dry.
Yeah, they were too. That's right. Yeah, they were on dry tyres.
But again, they could switch, but no, they
No point.
No, well, they can't switch actually
No.
because
He's got to still do another, 14, 15 minutes, 16 minutes.
Yep, another 16 minutes. So,
At least he's got out before the safety cars come around.
right.
So, and the safety car's got to wait for everybody to get into a queue. Then they've got to let the
lap cars
lap
come
cars through, which will include Deveth.
and might also include Luke.
No, he's on the same lap.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, hang on. I'm just looking at this here. Hold on. Who have we got where? We've got Smith and Deveth are now on the same lap, but 2 minutes and 18 seconds behind. So they'll make that up. So they will join the back of this queue, and they will be in the hunt.
So
And Mark's brought the Toyota in. And he's at the other end of pit lane. What's going on there? They're removing the sponsors'
logo.
logo.
They'll be in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Cream Insurance won't be pleased with that at all.
Why are they filling up at that end of the track?
No, that's where they are.
Are they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
pretty good. Oh, okay.
No, they're being serviced and run by Action Motorsport.
Oh, okay.
And Action Motorsport are down that end of the pit garage lane.
Oh, for some strange reason, I thought they were at the other end. There we go. Never mind. Never rely on anything I say. So, a safety car. Sorry.
So we're being told the safety car will be in this lap. So
Well, that's
it's really
okay.
surprising that they have not let that lap traffic through.
Yeah. So Mark heads back out on the pit lane again. Perhaps he couldn't see. I don't know. That's why. So there we go. So our see Mark and Zane from Hampton down standing down there, just poked their head out of the office. Now, I'm like you, Mark. I'm quite bemused as to why they haven't let that lap traffic through.
Yeah.
Or even that the
It's potentially, I'm kind of disappointed that they haven't done that, because it does mean that the faster cars like Lou Manson is going to have to pass two slower cars, and in the case of the BMW, a much slower car. And it's a very wet track, and I would have thought on safety grounds they would have let that lap traffic through.
On top of that, you've also got the Smith Deveth.
So they're getting ready to go green.
Okay, well.
Got the green flag ready to throw. Coming up the hill now.
The Alliance back Audi.
Yeah, so the safety car's in. And
Steve Banbrook is heading for pit lane himself by the looks of things.
so Luke has, okay, they've let them go.
Well, that's very strange. I do not understand that at all, but there we go. So,
Who are we to question?
well, that's right, yeah. Whoa, and Manson's gone around.
Manson's gone around
Twice.
and pirouetted. And that's such a shame. And yeah, I don't know whether he just did it on himself or.
I think he probably hit the loud pedal a little bit too much.
Yeah, the problem is that he was having to try to pass.
Well,
the car.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to pick up where that McLaren is. It doesn't seem to be on the picture yet. It doesn't seem to arrive. Okay, so they are changing to wet weather tyres on the BMW as well. And of course, being a 5-stud, this could take a while.
One man and one gun, and yep, so this will be an eternity for them.
Yeah, so
So you're right. I'm looking for the McLaren, and
I haven't seen it.
I don't see it. So
In fact, well, it's gone through in third place. It's on the same lap as the two lead cars, the lead Audis, and it is one lap up on the McLaren. Sorry, the Lamborghini.
gosh, it's wet out there.
It's very wet out there.
Yeah, this is
See,
tippy. This is tippy toe stuff.
Never believe a local, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, how much more local can you get than you, John? You actually live here, right over there. I could see your apartment.
So that's always been the joke. When I'm at home, I'm looking at my office, and when I'm in my office, I'm looking at home. So,
yeah.
But if you're looking,
here we are. Well, we've got just a couple of minutes before the AMs can climb out, and then in some cases they will, well, particularly Sam Fillimore has got a decent old lead, so they may lead the charge.
and he's
having
off.
said that, Sam's spun.
Yep.
And he's
where's
trying
that?
to cross the gravel.
Where's that? That's down at.
That's coming into the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's turn 2 at the end of the track.
Mm.
So he's spun. That's allowed Glenn to unlap himself.
Yeah.
But I still haven't seen the McLaren. I don't know where it is.
No, we've lost the McLaren.
Well, it's still there because it's popping up on the screen, but on our timing sheet. But
we certainly don't have a visual on it.
No.
So 149, 131, just 20 seconds to go, and I would say Glenn will be in this lap.
Yeah.
If he can keep it on the island, keep it on the island.
So we're looking for.
Let's see whether
BMW's out. That heads out
so
of
it's
the lane.
150. They all free to change now to the elite drivers. I'm sure that Glenn will do that.
Well, he's got the indicator on, but he's had it on for the last 20 odd laps.
Well, it goes on and off, doesn't it? Sam's not taking advantage
he's coming
of
in.
that.
He is coming in.
No, Sam is not coming in.
No, but
Glenn's in.
Glenn's in.
Sam's gone on by.
But then Sam does have a lap over Glenn at the stage.
Correct. I mean, they've got track position.
Yep.
And and having said that, Sam is buried. So this is what a wide open race we've got now. Sam's come off and he's buried, and he's going to have to be hurled out.
This will be another safety car.
Andrew Waite is getting into the car. Wow, this has changed the whole complexion. Now you've got one of the top drivers in the country, Andrew Waite, getting into a very good car. So wow.
Sam will be absolutely split, and we've got a change over here too. We've got
the McLaren, and now we've got Damon Leach getting in there. Wow, this is to change the whole complexion of the race.
So where's Luke going to pan in all
well,
this?
Luke will be wanting to. He's coming through now. And
so he's.
In fact, Luke is through, so we might have missed that change.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, so
we missed that.
But here's the interesting thing that Damon Leach is coming right out on the tail of.
So we've got Andrew Waite, who's behind the safety car, and he'll be wanting to be waved through. Here's Luke Manson.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, he should be waved through, according to the way that the.
And now we've got Damon Leach in that very fast McLaren. So they're going to be tippy-toeing around, and what a shame for Sam to be in such a commanding position and then just lose it in a split second like that. And that's aquaplaning, and there's once it starts aquaplaning, you're just a passenger.
Yeah, you can't hang on to it.
No,
she's gone
that's
there.
it. And so We're going to have to drag that out. There won't be any much damage other than a lot of shingle
Well,
everywhere.
we've got the Gilbertson car going back out. I think this time we should have a.
Johnny.
Oh, hang on a minute now. No, have. Oh no,
No, they're fine. Johnny Mac can be in that car.
Okay. So, but was Simon in the car for 150?
Well, they've only just gone out, so we're at one.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. If
Yeah.
he's sitting in the pitch, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter whether. Yeah, I get. Oh, Mark Marlowe having a little bit of a weird moment there. Got to change his drivers here. Who have we got in? It looks
We've
like.
got young Anton in there, and he's a real talent. Anton Hodson, who won one of the races at the Bend only a week ago.
Okay.
In the Australian Challenge Series, Porsche Challenge Series. Yeah. So, yeah, very classy young driver.
So what's his
Hello.
history?
There's a little bit of an issue there. Maybe he's trying to. Looks like he's trying to bring that seat forward. Door closes. And the, yep. So where's the safety car? Oh, will they get out before the safety car? That's the question.
No, they won't. No, they've been stopped at the end of pit lane.
Stopped at the end of pit lane.
So I hope that we're going to. They're still pulling Sam out of the trap, so he's now going to go down 2 laps. Oh no, they've just gone down 1 lap.
Yes, but he's going to have to come around and bail out.
Yeah.
So that'll
So
get.
we've got.
That'll get.
Now they've let one of the back markers through. So we've now got Luke Manson, who is the leader.
Yep. That's
behind the safety car, and then right. Well, so no, it's not Luke. It's James Penrose, and right behind James is
Damon Leach. South Islanders. Both of these boys are South Island boys.
Because his brother's racing at Le Mans this weekend.
And so Sam's got to come round, and he must get out. There's no point in him staying in the car.
Yeah, I would say that the air inside that car will be quite blue at the moment.
Yep. Yeah.
There's nothing worse than when you're in that position and you make your own mistake and you beat it and you can't do anything about it. You just hate yourself.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot that he could do when the car just hit that water and aquaplaned. You're a passenger.
Medal for bravery goes to Mark Mallard for being in a little Toyota amongst that lot.
They just love motor racing, that Mallard family.
Oh,
so
do.
many generations.
Yeah, well, of course, Eric was...
Quackers, all Quackers.
Yeah, Quackers, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the men that started Pukekohe.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, him and Ron Frost and that team at NZIGP back in those days.
I actually drove past Pukekohe the other day, and I vowed I never would, but I was the passenger in a car, and as we're coming past, we're coming from Tuakau, and I said, stop. We stopped, and I looked down the front straight. All the concrete barriers are gone, all the catch fencing had gone, the bridge had gone, all the pit buildings. It looked like Pukekohe back in the 60s. Or 80s anyway.
And they dug big trenches across the track as well.
I haven't been there for that yet, so... yeah, well, it's bygone. So
yeah, so Sam will be heading into the pits, and here he comes into the pit lane.
Right, they are going to run safety car after this lap. So this is going to be interesting. You've got James Penrose.
They got to fuel it. They may not change tyres.
It probably don't need to change tyres. They've only done probably 5 or 6 laps. So they
done a few more. No change of tyres. They're just having a check and just a quick visual inspection. Get Dan belted in. Get as much fuel as they can, because it's going to run to the end.
Okay, so this brings up an interesting scenario, because the leaders in the class at the moment is Luke Manson and James Penrose on 185 points, and second is Glenn Smith, John DeVeth and Damon Leach on 177. So,
yeah,
so that's 8 points.
Yeah,
8 points difference, and yet the difference between first and second is only 5 points. And somehow, if DeVeth, Smith, Leach team want to win it, they've got to put a car or 2 cars between them and Luke Manson.
That's probably not going to happen.
I don't think it will. No, you're right. So all Luke's really got to do from here is...
Well, I mean, having said that, Andrew Waite could be a spoiler. He's got the ability.
Is he unlapped himself? Yes, he has.
Yep.
They have unlapped themselves.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Chapo all over again, Mark.
Yep.
A little bit earlier, though.
Right. Looks like we're going to get the safety car lights are out by the look of it.
Yeah, they are. The safety cars coming in this lap.
Yeah. I totally disagree with the decision not to let those lap cars go through.
In the last safety car session, yeah.
Yeah. Well, even now, look, we've got 2 slow cars right in the middle of some very fast cars.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there was a conversation I had with Ray the other night. That's what they decided they were going to do, but clearly they've changed their mind.
Safety cars in. And there's Damon right on Luke's tail.
Yep. Well, Mark Mallard's putting a bit in there for a start as well.
Oh!
Yeah, that's got a lot of horsepower to let go there.
Didn't like that at all. And, in fact, Damon's trying to have a look down the inside.
He's really putting
Yeah.
pressure on... that's got that's a lot of horsepower getting a bit of a wriggle on there.
Yep.
And so down into the turn 2 they come. And Damon's just got out of the spray so you can see where he's going.
Andrew Waite there now moved up into 3rd.
And then of course we've now got Dan Gaunt in the car for...
Yep. Taken over from Sam.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah. Damon.
Young Leachy.
Damon is hustling. He is hustling.
Yep.
Yeah. And Andrew Wade, of course. Yeah, these 2 are going to hold each other up. Wade's going to get on them. Oh, she's slippery.
Yep,
yeah.
He's having a real wriggle there. So down into the Golden Homes hairpin here. And...
Oh,
look
at
that.
that.
McLaren has got a lot of horsepower. Yeah. Just keeps lighting the bags up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's looking for some...
Yeah, Damon's got a handful there. And,
he certainly has.
Oh, look at the Porsche.
It might pay to wind the boost down a little bit, I think.
This looks like a drift session.
So.
They're hanging it out. The only thing is the hand is not out the window.
Yeah, so here we go. So we've got all the elites in the car at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Dan running wide there. Dan Gaunt.
So Dan, yeah, so he's 1 lap down on the leaders.
Yes, we've got Johnny Mack in the Gilbertson car, but of course they've lost
they're
a lot of laps.
They're out the back door now. They've only on 58 laps compared with...
So, Dan Gaunt is hustling up and and got his front underneath Andrew Waite.
You just get the feeling, Mark, there's going to be another safety car at some stage.
I think you're right, because it's so slippery that somebody's going to come off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the old saying that safety cars breed safety cars.
Yep.
Well,
Damon is still parked.
He's monstering it, isn't he?
He's parked up in James Penrose's bootlet.
Well, he's definitely got a horsepower advantage.
It's
But in these conditions,
that's nothing.
Yeah.
In fact, that can be a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Audi's clearly a later generation car and will have a far more sophisticated traction control system. So
Although talking to Glenn, he was telling me they have upgraded this car. It's got all the latest bits on it, apparently.
okay.
So, because he's got two of them.
Yeah.
And I think the other one is just a mobile spare parts bin these days. So, okay, he's backed off a little bit here. I think he's going to just... So up the hill they come, and they've bolted and they've left Andrew and Dan for dust.
Not so sure about it. Let's have a look at the time difference there, John.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's about 5 seconds difference.
Yeah.
So it just looked a long way on the camera. So tell you what, Damon he's really making a pest of himself, isn't he? So, but that's the best. That's the way you do it. You keep monstering them until they make a mistake, or you make one of the two.
Yeah.
And I think.
Oh, he spun him around.
That's not. Oh,
that is not good.
You're going to get a slap hand for that, young Damon.
Somebody is getting a slap hand, and as we said, another safety car that's stuck in the gravel.
That's not going anywhere fast.
No, that's pretty. Well, we're going to leave it to the officials to decide that one. Didn't look.
I don't think it wasn't malicious. It
didn't look like intentional. I think. No. I just think that perhaps James just was a bit cautious, and Damon didn't read it quite close enough.
Yep. Racing incident, I'd say, but I don't think he.
Well, it didn't look like that. He just drove into him.
Well, Damon's not that sort of driver anyway.
No,
he just doesn't do that. So that clearly, I would put that down as you're quite right. I think James was probably trying to discretion, being a little bit more.
Yeah, he didn't want to slide off himself.
Yeah, and then I don't think. I certainly don't think that Damon expected it.
Yeah, so Waite's closed up, and now we've got a safety car, so that's the way that they will be until they clear the safety car.
I've got a funny feeling that the stewards might be sitting a bit later tonight, because this is the decision of the championship, really.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you've got that's completely reversed it and completely thrown it back into points on the road.
Well, as you were saying, if he finished second, he still won.
Yeah.
But now, of course, he's parked up, and we've got Andrew Waite in. Yeah, that's well and truly buried. Yeah, what a shame.
That's off. That looks off off the back of Swampy's curves. So. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's off of turn 4, Swampy's curves. Yeah, so that's going to make it's going to be interesting. Well, one can say certainly, Mark, that the races have not been boring by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I mean, gosh, I didn't wish this weather on anybody, but it is what it is, and this is wintertime endurance racing.
Look at that mud. How bad is that?
So it's going to leave a lot of debris on the track.
It is.
And look here, John, we've got some blue sky coming, and it's lightened up.
Yep. So,
and
it's looking out the back here. It's I don't think we're going to see any rain for the rest of the afternoon.
No, so we've got 43 minutes left to run. We could well see a dry line appearing if this, if this blue sky envelops us.
Yeah.
But we do have some dark clouds out to our left. So which way?
That's going that way.
That's going that way. That's
So,
good.
and there's another lot going past us over there.
Okay.
Oh no, don't go in there. Don't go in there.
Don't go in there. Oh, goodness.
So, all the boys in there to push him out.
That rear tyre, got a lot of camber on it. Hope it's not damaged.
No.
So we've really bunched them up now. So we're doing a...
Well, it's come, believe it or not, Mark, it's come back to what it was at Taupo. We've got first and second on the same lap, nose to tail. Actually, no, third and fourth are now. Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to make any predictions from here on in. It looks to me like it's becoming very...
Well, the rain has stopped, and so the track's wet. It's probably going to stay... it looks like... okay.
Oh, no, are they putting on a trailer?
I wouldn't think so.
Why is the trailer park? Oh, no, he's got round it. Looking at muck on that track. So, yeah, I'd say there's going to be a lot of grumbling and moaning and groaning down in the pit garages there.
Yes, I wouldn't like to be adjudicating on that, but...
no.
But
with the advantage they have now, all the footage from both.
Well, they've got the in-cars.
Yeah. So, I mean, my take on that, there was absolutely nothing malicious in that at all. It was just I think James just braked a little bit earlier, and Damon didn't expect it.
Just here with Glenn Brazier, you saw what happened out there. What's your thoughts on that?
I didn't see what happened with the wee shunt there, but the boys say that there was a wee bit of a tap, so we'll see what happens after that. It might work to our favour possibly, sort of thing, if there's a drive-through imposed on that, but we'll see. She's pretty wet out there. She's hard going, that's for sure.
So your stint?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, we sort of tried to hang on there at the end there on slicks on the wet. Had a couple of spins just trying to stay out there and get till far enough to where we could do the driver change, but in the end we just had to put the wets on and soldier on from there, sort of thing. And a couple of the other boys had a few spins in front of me, so we sort of made a couple of spots back up again. So we're sitting in not a bad spot at the moment, so we'll see what unfolds. We've got the big gun in there at the moment, so we'll see what he can do.
So basically there was a battle happening in 1 and 2 and then back in 3 and 4 with you guys, but sort of moved you up a bit.
It has, yeah, sort of with a couple of boys having some spins and taking each other out or whatever they're up to there, but I won't complain about that at this stage, but we'll see what happens. It's obviously, I doubt whether it's going to dry out enough to go back onto slicks, but stranger things have happened today.
And so basically with Andrew in the car, I mean, you've done a lot of wet driving in the car. It's a pretty good car in the wet?
Yeah, not too bad. I had a bit of I've had one other go in it, and then I had a whirl yesterday in the rain, sort of thing. So, didn't have too much more. We didn't think we would be running in the wet today, but thankfully we done a wee bit yesterday, and the car setup's pretty good, sort of thing. So, and obviously Andrew's as good as they get in there. So, rain or sun doesn't really matter for him.
And the difference between the Audi with Dan Gaunt in it behind you, they're very similar chassis, right?
Yeah, from what I believe, they are very similar, sort of thing. They under the skin, just I think they're just a different silhouette and a wee bit of different aero and bits and pieces, and obviously the the Audis are a later model than the Lambo sort of thing. It is a wee bit older, but still, as you know, Andrew can prove when he's in it, it's still competitive.
All right, well, let's see what happens in this wet and see you there.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Feeling nervous?
So yeah, it's starting to pace up and down a wee bit now. Sort of probably more nervous watching Andrew than I was out there on the slicks in the wet, to be fair.
Yeah, well, when you're in the car, I guess you got to concentrate.
Yeah, you got a task at hand, and you know it's just a shame that it had a wee spin in the thing, but everyone's doing it. It's just the conditions. That's the way it is.
Exciting race, though.
Yeah, it is. It's good to get out and be able to watch it on the TV and not have to worry about putting it in the wall or something. But I suppose it's me that has to pay for it if that happens. But worry about that if that happens.
Well, we hope that doesn't happen. So
no, he's given the big ticket. Go and get it and see what he can do.
All right, thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you at the end and near a podium right now.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cheers. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, so that was Adam talking to Glenn Brazier about the conditions out there, and I think Glenn was quite clear that he was happy to be in the garage and let Andrew deal with it all out there. So the interesting part about it, he did raise the fact that because of that incident, there may be a drive-through for the lead car.
Well, it might have been wishful thinking.
Yeah. So
We'll find out.
We'll find out sooner or later, yeah. So I have no doubt that there will be.
I don't think the officials are going to be in too much of a hurry to make a rash decision.
No.
They need to be weighed up because it could affect the race.
True.
I mean, they can do, if they decide that Damon's in the wrong, they can apply a post-race penalty.
Yes, yeah, they could, yeah. So, but the fact of the matter is that Luke is now two laps down? No, 1 lap down. So,
surely more than 1 lap.
No. We'll wait and see when they come across the line. But at the moment, John and the DeVeth Smith Leach car showing 71. Glenn Brazier, Andrew Waite car showing 71 laps. The Fillmore Gaunt car showing 70, and the Manson Penrose car showing 70.
Oh, look at Andrew sneaking up the inside there.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and he gets away with it. So, these two are old workmates. In fact, they both still
work together. Don't they?
Work together for the Quinn organisation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think Andrew works up here now.
Yeah. Well, look, we've got Dan Gaunt trying to sneak through in 3rd place. So we've just about got the whole driving team
from Tony Quinn's organisation. Yeah. And Josie Spillane walking around the pits with a
fan club.
With a fan club board up.
See if she's backed the right person.
Yeah, so interesting. I tell you what though, hang on, Andrew's really got the bit between his teeth here.
Yeah.
He's got clear track. He's got nothing in front of him, but a little bit of rain. In fact, it stopped raining, so.
Yeah.
Although sometimes you can forget you've actually got your wipers on.
I mean, once that spray dissipates, which will take a few laps to do, then.
Look at this! Look at this! Down the inside here, Gaunt having a look.
Gaunt having a bit of a.
That's a
push.
Hang on. So what's that? It's got somebody here's got a
love tap from Gaunty.
Okay, we have a black flag and a drive. Is that a drive-through penalty?
Yeah, they've called it.
Drive-through penalty for 21. Okay. So they're doing it straight away. No messing around. Straight in, get it done, get out again. So yeah, it's. I think Damon would have been expecting that. Straight through. Just have a look at his times on the radar down there to make sure he hasn't. Well, they've actually turned that off now. They used to have a radar light up there, told you what your lap time, what your speed was through pit lane, but they seem to have turned that off.
Goodness.
Okay. Oh,
We seem to be out of control on the camera.
Cameraman's had a couple too many beers there, I think. So anyway, he's back out. So this will put him down into second place. So.
Oh yes, it's
The one good thing about that, Mark, is there's going to be no. It's because they've done the drive-through. There'll be no after-match.
No, and that's the, you know, from the point of view of actually having
a result.
Yeah, it's assisted with that.
Yeah. So.
And Andrew seems to be quite at home in that Lambo.
He does, doesn't he? Let's have a look. So we're currently 2 hours and coming up 2 hours 20 into the race.
Yeah, there's plenty
so it's
of time.
40 minutes.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left.
So.
Interesting the different lines that they've got. Dan Gaunt running quite a bit wider initially and then tightening it up.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reality of it is, like, if those two Audis manage to get themselves up close to Andrew, he can still let them go past because they are a lap down. Oh, hang on a minute, no. Oh yeah, no, he is one lap up on them as they've all come across the start finish line.
Yeah.
And just having a look for where's the McLaren got to.
The McLaren will still be second.
He's still in second place.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to see where he is on the road.
Yeah, so
he's not even in view at that point in time.
Yeah. Well, Andrew is not giving those third and fourth place guys an opportunity to unlap themselves.
No,
that's for sure.
He's keeping them at bay too.
We're starting
Look
to
how much water there is coming off those tyres.
Yeah. Less spray though now. Oh,
yeah. You reckon?
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe not.
So here they come onto the. Now it's, we still got Mark in the car, or is young fella got back in? He does take a very wide line in there, doesn't he?
Well, more so Dan Gaunt is running a wider line into the corner. And he's not dropping off at all, but of course he's a whole lap down.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that, you know, realistically, with 40 minutes left to go, Andrew could, I mean, if they got up close, he could let them past, and they've still got a long way to go, unless there's another safety car. You obviously want to keep that lap up your sleeve if you can. But it's not the end of the world if they do unlap themselves.
No, as long as he keeps it on the island.
Exactly right. So, in these conditions, it's always a balancing act. So, but as our Aussie commentator friends, it's just add water for a bit of excitement.
So let's just have a look and see what kind of times that Damon Leach is running.
Last lap round was a 144.637. He was the fastest of the lead four.
Okay.
By a second.
Okay.
So Andrew did a 46.0. So Damon's about a second lap faster, but he is 23 seconds in arrears. Actually, James Penrose takes a similar line to Dan Gaunt.
Yeah, in that lap, yeah.
Maybe it's the thing with the outlet. Oh, the Gilbertson car back in again for a bit more.
Running repairs.
Yeah. So I always remember seeing a 2K Cup car many years ago, and the sign running on the back was, "In plastic tyres we trust." So
Not sure what they're doing with the front of that Gilbert.
Trying to get the whole front of it to stay on there, I think. Well, Andrew's doing a great job there of keeping that thing just in front of those two Audis. So, although realistically they'll both be sitting there hoping for another safety car.
Yeah, but strategically they would like to be in front of them if there is another car. A safety car. If there's another safety car and they can unlap themselves, then they can end up right on the tail.
Exactly right. But I mean, that's what was supposed to have happened with the safety cars in the past, but they've been let pass. But
oh, here's a pass coming up.
Oh,
not quite.
Not quite.
Having a go.
Andrew's nut. I'm not letting you through there. Whoa.
Oh, and Dan's in a much shallower line. But Andrew was pulled away up the hill on the wider line.
I'll tell you what, wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall in the staff meeting on Monday? So, yeah. Look at that sun's so bright there. Through that you can't even see the cars through the spray. So as they thunder down towards turn 2, here's that little Honda again. And they probably caught him at the worst place on the track. So that tyre change, just going to the other end of the field, that tyre change for Andrew Turner and Steve Bannenbroek cost them so much time, they're effectively running in last place. Oh, look at this here. This is, not what anybody wanted. Whoa.
Wow.
That is so close.
Threading the needle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, yeah.
That's a brave move down there, that part of the track.
Yeah.
And, nicely done, Dan. He's had a go.
No, it's,
no,
that's definitely heading for trouble. These two boys are going to...
He's going to have a go down here.
Yeah, he's dropped it down the inside, and Andrew will get a better run off there. He's not going to be too concerned about contesting. I think he knows he's a lap forward, and he's only got 15 minutes to run. Oh, sorry. He's got actually
35 minutes.
35 minutes to run.
I'm still looking for our...
So Dan's pressing on.
Yeah, he is. He's. Let's have a look, see what sort of times he starts putting in now by comparison. But I'm just trying out. There goes Johnny Mack out again. Just trying to pick up where that McLaren. Oh, there's the McLaren just gone past us now. So the McLaren is now going through the through turn 2, whilst our leaders are coming down through the. Sorry, our lead car, I should say, is coming down through the Golden Homes hairpin. So that's.
Leach is still the fastest car on track at the moment.
Yeah.
Not by a lot, but...
Oh, he's actually... He's a second faster than the lead car, though. So Johnny Mack.
So the gap is 20.975 on the last lap.
see what it is next time through. So they are now going to be coming. Just trying to find our second place car. Where is he? Okay, he is there. So our lead cars. Our lead cars are going into the double B, while our second place car is just going through Swampy's curves now. Oh, Dan Gaunt getting a bit wiggly there off of the double B. So Penrose hasn't seemed to make any inroads into the back of Andrew Wade at this stage. As we're watching, actually Dan's really got the bit between his teeth. So let's have a look and see what he did last time round.
Yeah, Gaunt was fastest in the last lap.
144.935. Must have been, it's nice to see a Lamborghini race in New Zealand. So that's third place. Coming into the corner here with the leader right behind him, and then fourth place behind him. That's our lead car number 34, the Glen Brazier Andrew Waite Brazier Scaffolding sponsored Lamborghini Huracan. And I guess we're going to follow him for a while, but nice if we could pick up where our second place man is at this point in time.
Well, the gap's down to 19 seconds. 19.
Yeah, so he's closing it.
But you only need another safety car.
Oh yeah, it's all over. He'd be right on him. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much, Mr. Producer. So there's our second place car now. That's the John DeVeth, Glenn Smith, Damon Leach McLaren 570S. So this is the ex-Tony Quinn car. So as we watch the second place car coming through, where is he at the moment? Let's have a pick him up. He's coming up the hill, and as we welcome back to the commentary box, a freshly showered and shaved, Mark Mallard.
That's sweet. That is. I had to. Last time I was out here, the car was hot, and my son had played a trick and run the demister. Well, I had to run it today because of the conditions. And
yes, now Mark Patch is not very happy with you. He saw you tearing the windscreen signage off of the car, the NIERDC signage.
I wasn't happy with my team's putting on of my own sticker because it actually caught up the windscreen wiper blade.
Oh,
and I thought the sponsor would be happy if he didn't have an insurance claim coming for not using his window wiper. But no, the conditions there in that last rain shower were horrendous.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was very much struggling, even behind the safety car. It was hard work, and I think there's some oil and some other things, and the rubber on the track has really made it. Now we're going to see it will be dry by the end of this without another rain shower. So, and everyone on wet, so that's going to be another interesting part of this race, because it's been action-packed with a few safety cars and passes and some really good class battles. I saw that out there, you might not have seen it so much, but the Gilbertson Scholar battle was a rip roarer.
We were watching that for a while. That was a great scrap.
They passed me and I was working with it. Oh, not really working, but you know what I mean. Like, and,
you hung on to them. You did well.
Through the infield, the little 86 ain't too bad, and most people are rolling through most of that, so we can stay reasonably good there. But they looked really good. That was one of the good ones, and everyone just gave so much space, and I didn't feel concerned with the speed difference at all, which shocked me, to be honest with you. And great driving by so many drivers out there.
Yeah. So, well, of course, we've had it all at the front, and because you wouldn't have seen what caused the situation to be as it is at the moment, where we have...
well, let's have a race recap too.
Okay, well, basically, for your point of view...
Well, for 40 minutes to go. Give us the 2-hour 20 race recap.
Okay, well, we had it all really happen with... firstly, we had Sam Fillimore put it in the sand, and that sort of brought out the first, or one of the safety cars. Then... on the restart, I think he was come out 2 laps down after that. And we had everybody dive for the pits for wets and one thing or another. And out came Daniel. No.
Dan Gorn?
No.
James Penrose?
No, let's try
Leach.
that one again. Damon Leach. He came out right in behind Andrew Waite. James Penrose. And they were really, and he was really pressuring, like putting a lot of pressure on him. They got down into Swampy's curves, and from what Mark and I saw, it really looked like that James braked a little bit earlier, and I don't think Damon expected it, and it was a bit of a tap, and it put James into the kitty litter. Well, he sat there for a couple of laps while they recovered him. That then led to a drive-through penalty for Damon, which put Andrew Waite back at the front in the Lamborghini Huracan, and by now just on 15 seconds, so there's our second place man there now.
You can see the damage on the front there.
Yeah. So of course we also had I think you were around when Simon Gilbertson punched the wall with their Porsche.
Nice. What was was that the first safety car during my stint?
Yes, it was. Yeah, okay.
Because I did see actually at one stage the Lambo was off as well. It spun at double bastard, so I wasn't sure what had caused the safety car, because it came out as I came through double bastard, and then I came around the next lap and there was the Brazier car.
Yeah.
So it was all exciting in the car. It was all happening, but you've really seen it here on the.
Well, I mean, if you look, just looking at the whole scenario here, that car on screen there, which is now the lead car, was just over a lap down.
Spun
after it spun, so it was nearly 2 laps down at one point.
What a race!
It's
Well, we're having a little class battle with the Wall, Hammond and Thompson car.
So
they're on wets, and we think they've got a pit stop to go. So that's the only way we're going to bring it back. They're about 6 seconds a lap faster.
Well, the good part about it is you're actually in front of the Turner Benenbroek V8 BMW.
Yeah, he's on wets as well, and he's catching us.
He had a pit stop that was about an hour and a half while I changed the wheels. It was a long pit stop.
Yeah, we've run the same Nexon tyres that we've used at the Taupo V8 round and the first round of the Endurance Series, so the edges aren't really there for it. But there's Thomas there, he's working hard, and that sun is actually really bright in your eyes. It gives us a great camera shot to be able to see into the cars, but it is very bright down to that corner.
Well, it's when you actually look at it, when you look at the camera coming back, it's looking back from turn 1 back down this straight, you just can't see them because of the sun, the spray of the cars.
It's a good looking car, that Manson car, isn't
it? It is.
Just here with Luke Manson. Pretty crazy race so far.
Yeah, it's been very eventful, that's for sure. The different rain, tyres, spins, people stuck in gravel, people being hit off. It's been quite interesting, yeah.
So talk us through your stint.
I made a couple of little errors at the beginning there and managed to claw back a wee bit of time, and then got a couple of good safety cars and ended up in a good spot heading back out, handing the car over. So yeah, my stint wasn't too bad.
The tyre delamination must have been pretty scary.
Yeah, I think I damaged rear diffuser when I had a little off there, and it cut the tyre, and just as I was coming over to turn 1 there, so that was quite exciting, yeah.
And so obviously that little push that you got, you wouldn't be very happy, right?
Yeah, no, that's sort of bluntly no, not very happy. And when they get a penalty and it doesn't put you behind us as they took us off the track, it's pretty shit.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that and go back to the track.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess that Luke obviously wasn't very happy, but you know he probably didn't have the luxury of seeing it as Mark and I saw it, and there was nothing malicious in it. It was just one of those accidents that occurs.
Oh, but as he said, it's hard when the penalty's less than the crime.
Yeah,
and that's no.
Yeah, that's right.
That's all right. I mean, and he's passionate. He's
Oh,
loving what he's
absolutely.
doing, and that's what we want. We
Absolutely.
want someone to show us an opinion, not just be bland. So good on Luke. I liked it actually.
No, it was good.
We do need the opinions of people because it's boring without them.
Yeah, well, it's true. But,
And no, I'm sure we will get the other side of it. The
Oh,
Fast
absolutely.
Files will go and we'll get another view of it, and we'll get to get the other side from the other driver. So.
yeah, so.
But no, there was a penalty given, and so
Well,
obviously it was at fault in the eyes of the officials. They've made their decision.
But,
But,
the point on that is though that is the penalty.
yeah, no, it is. That's all they
what
can
the
do.
rule book says. You know,
Yeah.
So
It's just unfortunate, doesn't it? It's like sometimes you
somebody needs to explain that to Toto Wolff.
Very tough day at the office for everyone, eh?
It was so hard out there. It was that first stint was hard, you know, because it was drying and we were on wets and we were just trying to hang out. It was like being on jelly beans. And then came in and got those slicks, and it was like the track was still quite greasy, so it was really hard just to know how hard to push. And I know we sort of got 10, 12 laps in, you would have seen the times just dropping, but it was quite sketchy. I had a good lead, and then that safety car happened, and they actually called me in and I didn't hear it, and then I bloody skated off through the river. That's the way it goes, eh? That's the way it goes. So
yeah, pretty tough. But I mean, I think everybody's had their moment. So it's like it's been a really good race.
Mate, it's been eventful, hasn't it? It was. I'm going to need a whiskey or something on the couch tonight, I think, just to calm my nerves. And I know Luke, speaking to Luke, he feels the same way. Like it was hard work out there.
And at the end of the day, it's still kind of anybody's for the series, right?
Yeah, I don't know quite how it's all. At the moment, I think it'd be just with the maths I did in my head. I think maybe the McLaren and Luke's car might be just about tied. So we'll find out.
Well, there you go.
Still got to finish the race yet, though, eh?
Yeah, still a bit of time to go, but that's better maths than me. I hadn't worked that out.
We just need a safety car now to get us back in the hunt.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's see what happens. We've got a bit of time to go.
Cheers, Adam. Thanks, mate.
Okay, so hang on a minute. I've just Mark's signalling to me about he wants. Just checking to make sure. Okay, so now turn the volume because the only way we can hear what's happening on the. Turning it down. The remote's packed up on it. I think the batteries are run out in our remote and we can't turn the volume down on the TV, which is what we've been listening to the pit interviews. So we might be getting a bit of feedback here. But, oh no, there we go. Mark's managed to find it. Well done, Mark.
Thomas there, sideways out of the double B.
Yeah.
It's hard work on those tyres out there and still in these conditions, and just trying to find grip because those are absolutely worn.
Bit of a dry line. It's starting to appear. Oh no, it's not. I thought it was, but just the way
The shadows are coming. You look at him, he's doing a lot of work with that wheel trying to get it straight.
Okay.
As soon as you're trying to get on the power, every gear change for me it wasn't, and he's got the sun there. He's blocking the sun as he comes down there. It's straight in his eyes. He needs a pair of glasses.
Yes, yeah. Well, what he needs is one of those windscreen banners.
One of those windscreen banners would be good.
Did his father tore off the windscreen?
Literally, was stopping the windscreen.
Okay, well, just had the feedback from Mark Patch, has been out talking to the timekeepers and one thing and another. If the race finished as it is now, John DeVath, Grant Glenn Smith and Damon Leach would win the series. So if we get no more changes, so if the Brazier Wake Lamborghini finishes where it is, and then the DeVath Smith Leach McLaren finishes where it is, and the remaining two cars, the two Audis, finish as they are, then it will go to
the battle of the championship. Here is a 3.45 second battle between Dan Gaunt and James Penrose.
Basically,
because those are the only ones that really in a close battle here, unless we get a safety car.
Yep.
And that will change the championship. That one position,
Yep,
3.4 seconds after nearly 9 hours of competition to get to this championship point.
The fly in the ointment here, though, is you've got the leader of the race between those two cars. So for Luke to get past, for James Penrose to get past Dan Gaunt, he's firstly got to get past Andrew Waite in the Lamborghini.
Is there any team orders from International Motorsport?
I don't think team orders. Lyle went home.
Yeah, no. Well,
so it's anyway. So we've got
that. So those are the three cars. Well, that's 1, 3, and 4 there on screen, as the Matson car, driven by Penrose. Unfortunate, it sounds like, with the incident that happened with the second place runner Smith, DeVeth and Leach. So was Leach in the car at that stage?
Yep. So all the young guns are all the in fact, Mark and I were just saying, you've got first, second and third cars have all got the Tony Quinn Foundation employees in them. So.
And James Penrose works down at Highlands a bit.
Okay, that's 4.
Yep.
So.
No, because
it's not the fact that occasionally he does some relief.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually work for
No.
So as I said to Mark earlier on, it'd be interesting the sales meeting, the staff meeting on Monday morning. So, but anyway, so.
Well, it's good that what Tony Quinn's doing and what they're doing with their street skills program as well, as we see the front runners work their way past the young 86 driver. Yeah, that is a bit of a, well, it is with those tyres on it in these conditions, I'll tell you that. She's not good. Dad didn't spring for the wets. We haven't put them on. We'll keep them for next year. I think they're 5 years old now. I still haven't put them on.
Fair enough. Mind you, isn't there a new 86 for next year?
Yes.
So
yes. We've got one ordered and on the way, and we think they're changing tyres. We're not sure exactly of the specification, so we just came out and used the Nixon and had some fun, and it's great track time. I mean, 3 straight hours, putting the young guy out for 2 hours of track time, variable conditions.
He's
struggle there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Interesting enough, though, Dan Gaunt hasn't got any further away from Andrew Waite. When he got past him, he opened up the gap reasonably quickly, but then it seems to have stabilised, and he hasn't gone any further. So it's been hovering around that 13-second mark for, that 4 or 5 second mark for quite some time. Now there's our second place car, and he's still, we'll see as he comes across the line, because Andrew Waite's just gone across the line, so we'll see what the time is now.
So just there with John DeVeth in the McLaren, I mean, it's been a pretty tough race for everybody. How was your stint?
Yeah, I was very lucky. Glenn was out on wets at the start and obviously got dry, so he had to persevere with them, and then I hopped in, they put the slicks on, and the car was awesome, went really good. And then obviously the rain came, and then on slicks it was a bit slippery. So I ended out as long as I could, and then came in for some wets, and did my rest of my stint, and then put Damon in. So I actually enjoyed it. Like, my hands were busy, it was really busy, but I didn't mind it. The car was okay, and it reminded me of years ago in Pukekohe. You're just really busy with your steering wheel.
And I'm just hearing in my ears that your supporters we've got a camera in your apartment, and they might put a picture of your supporters up there on the stream.
Yeah, that would be nice, eh? Yeah, all my people that support me, no, thank you very much. All the people that have come here to watch us and support us, I appreciate it.
And as it stands, I mean, the race has obviously got a little bit of time to go, but you guys are looking pretty good for the series at this point in time.
I don't know the points, but it must be really close. So, yeah, if we can keep in P2, I'll be interested to see how the points go.
All right, well, we'll see at the end, because I'm no mathematician.
Yeah, you never know. A safety car might come out and change the whole game.
Yeah, all right, very good. Well, good to see you smiling and the car's still going around, and it's a good old day out the track.
Yeah, it was. Thanks, Ed.
Right.
Okay, so there you go. That was Johnny DeVeth, one of the drivers in the car you see on screen now, the 91 McLaren. And the comment was made that they've got supporters on his deck. It was actually one of the TV cameras for the track is actually on John DeVeth's deck, which is up there in the McLaren block.
Oh, okay.
So,
it's great to have your friends and family along to watch.
well, actually, they've got a really good bunch up there, because right next door you've got the Moselle Panel Paint guys, and they've actually had the glass cut with a little door
There
in
they
the
are.
balcony. Yeah, there we go. That's Johnny DeVeth's wife there, and they're all saying g'day, and so it is
Bird's eye view. Was a great view of the track.
So it's
I think it's the Gilbertson car out there.
Yep.
He actually might move from last. He's one that will catch very shortly and get past Andrew Turner, actually. And then he's got to catch a lap on us to...
yeah, well...
And this time, it's surprising that it stayed so wet. I thought it would have totally dried out by now, but the lap times are saying it's still quite wet out there.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's no wind out there at the moment. If you look at the flags, that's it. And
I'll tell you what, I'm generating about 800 degrees, so I was helping it when I got out. I think there's a dry patch.
So you've only got a few cars out there now. What's going on here? Oh, Andrew Waite's caught back up to Daniel Gaunt again.
Yeah.
Just here with Nick Chester, who's the treasurer of NIERDC and a long-time racer in endurance racing as well in his Commodore supercar. So the series this year has been pretty amazing in terms of the racing, right?
Oh, the racing has been outstanding, particularly the 3 hour. I mean, Taupo was an awesome race. This is turning out to be a real humdinger as well, that McLaren's chasing the Brazier Lambo. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it ends up.
Have you been doing any sums? So you're the treasurer, you should be a good mathematician.
Yeah, I don't think the McLaren's got quite enough laps to catch him. I think the Lambo's got it unless something happens, so yeah.
And overall points for you, have you had a look at that?
I think as it sits right now, it's potentially dead even between Manson and the Smith DeVeth McLaren. So yeah, that'll come down to then the who's had the most amount of pole positions and then fastest laps after that. So yeah, not sure. Haven't done those maths, but yeah, it's pretty close.
And we just have to, while you got you on camera, say thanks so much for all the hard work you've done, and obviously, sponsoring around and getting everybody in to be able to make this happen.
Yeah, no, it's been. It's obviously a huge passion of mine. It's a hell of a lot of work that all the committee puts into it, but it's all worthwhile when we have great racing like this. So it's great that they've got a good bunch of cars, and it's awesome.
Will we see you back on the grid?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do a round in NIERDC down in Cerdic with Ruapuna first round in my Holden finally. So yeah.
And I hear you've done some work to it.
It's had a little bit of work done to it, yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it goes like. It's been 5 years since I've driven it. Hopefully my ass still fits in the seat. We'll find out.
And it's a good 800 and something horsepower?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
He won't say, but look out, South Island. Here he comes. All right, back to you, John.
Okay, so there we go. That was Nick Chester giving us a fill in, and good shot there from Johnny's deck. Nick Chester there giving us an update on where we are. So basically, as things are at the moment, the one thing that separates the DeVeth and Penrose car is one pole position. So as it sits at the moment, they would win it on the fact that the points are even, except the DeVeth car, or the DeVeth Smith Leach car, has got one more pole position than the Manson Penrose car.
That's an incredible, after 9 hours of racing, And it's great to see
after
Nick.
9 hours, three events.
Three events.
That's right. Yeah. So
9 hours racing, we're tied. We go to who qualified, and then it would have been on number of fastest laps. Andrew Waite would have loved that tiebreaker because he's nailed the fastest laps at most of the tracks. But great to see Nick there, the treasurer of the group, and it takes committees and it takes secretaries, and it takes people like that and clubs to organise these things, and it's great to see the North Island Endurance Series Club work together to put on events like this that have just been fantastic. So Mark, you're the president. I'd like to congratulate you and your team on a fantastic series that you've run, the spirit and the enjoyment, and I know there's a prize given to come to show a bit more spirit, but I'd like to definitely from my side of it as a competitor just thank the committee. It's fantastic what you guys have done.
Family, and when the date change came up and we weren't able to do the last round as intended in Manfield, and when we had to move the dates, that Steve was caught out, and I guess
he's probably watching this right now from
he probably is being live streamed, James Marshall, who actually prepares Steve's car, he's also on the committee, but so
he prepares the weight car, doesn't he? Yes. Yeah, that car on screen right now.
Christchurch. And then we've got Bill Riding, who is business partner with Steve Brooks, and he's also on the committee. And then we've got Luke Wye, who is an invaluable politician, looks after memberships. And then we've got Greg Sanderlin. Greg, of course, has been on the committee for a very long time, and he's the team manager for what could be the winning car. So his strategy of the three drivers at this point in time.
yeah, he's a bit of a smart cookie, he's old Greg Sanderlin.
That's fantastic. So yeah, really well done to you and your committee, and it's good time to do it because we've got just on 5 minutes to go. We've got the battle for the championship. Fillmore and Manson is the one we need to see because it's down to 1.68 seconds between those two. Young Penrose has got the bit between his teeth. The team has told him probably the distance and what he needs to do to get that to secure the championship for the team. He's got Andrew Waite between them, so he's going to have to pass the leader. And when you're a lap car, you've got to be very careful. Oh, he's slowing down.
He has slowed down dramatically.
He's slowing down.
Oop, hang on, did he get caught up there? And look right, who's right behind him? It is the Audi of the McLaren of
John DeVeth. He's dropped back a good 10 seconds there.
Well, it's actually
yeah.
It's
no. Yeah, no, something's happened there. Oh, no, it's not for position, but I'm not sure what's caused him to drop back like that.
That's
because
right.
He was down to 1.4 seconds behind the car for the championship. And that is, well, first equal in the championship until the tiebreaker on the screen right there, fourth and second in the race with a lap between them. Okay.
Right, okay, well sorry, folks. We just realised after all of this that we're giving Mark Patch a microphone, and you guys aren't picking it up at all. It's only coming up through the. It's only going out through our local network. So sorry, Mark.
Well, he thanked all the committee, and we appreciate all of their hard work, and thank you very much for their work. But as 3 minutes to go, that Manson car has picked up pace again, and Penrose is pulling away. So I'm not too sure what happened there, but just a little problem.
Sorry about.
As they work their way down. So that's Gaunt in the car in third place. So the overall is Waite, Leach, Gaunt, Penrose, Eaton Hodgson in his car, then it's James Sachs, I believe, in that car, then Thompson in the Honda, then McIntyre, and then Mallard and Turner, I believe, is in the car. So that looks like it's going to be it, because Gilbertson and McIntyre just passed us and got back, and will they catch? No, at minute 10, so they were not going to catch the car.
Just on that, James Sachs there's a name that, old motor racing name, his father John was a Group A racer.
Yep,
back
started
in
2K Cup a few years ago.
Yeah, and
we bought him back and loved
James
it.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. His father John.
No, it was a Nissan 500 runner and another family that loved motorsport.
That was the one, unfortunately, that was the little BMW that had the coming together with Tony Longhurst at the Wellington Street Race.
Oh, yes.
So
that was very second-hand.
Yeah, but that's actually been fully restored, that car now.
Wow.
But the motor's gone missing. Put it under stuff, go over to an engine rebuilder to rebuild the engine and put it under his bench, and nobody's ever found it again. So it's looking for a motor. Anyway, so back to what's going on track here, and there's our lead car there. He's going to, all he's got to do is bring us home. So we've only less than a minute and a half to run by the looks of things. Minute and a half now.
There'll be one more lap, and then the last lap board will come out. So 2 laps to go.
Yeah,
we're estimating. At current lap speed, should be 2 laps to go. So we see the leaders make their way through. The Sachs car there first. Then we see third place Dan Gaunt, and right behind him, lights ablaze, is Andrew Waite. And here we're enjoying this with Waite. He's and Brazier. He's done a good job, improved his driving throughout the championship. And Waite's been quick the whole time. But Brazier's brought that car up and kept him on the lead lap and let Waite fight. It sounds like some fortunate events around him pushed him to it, but then he's taken advantage of it and driven faultlessly from what I've seen on screen.
Look, every car out there, of the first 5 cars, every one of them has had an off-track incident that has caused them to either lose a lap or gain a lap, or it's just been a lottery out there, really. And it's basically turned out to be a survival of the fittest, and the fittest in this particular stage is Andrew Waite and Glenn Brazier. As we watch that McLaren Lamborghini climb up the hill, and this I think would be the first time a Lamborghini has won an endurance race in New Zealand, if I'm right, Mark.
My memory,
yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so which is kind of special. Yeah, you don't often get to see that mark racing here in New Zealand.
Geez,
yeah, that's right. Yes.
We've got the last lap board about to come out.
Here it is now. Last lap board goes out now, and we.
Those are the arms of young Matthew Day. His mum's just become the president of Motorsport New Zealand.
She has.
She has the whole family out there working, which is good.
Yeah, and she's actually sitting in here on the radio at the moment, so in the control room. So our lead car there, here he comes. He's going round turn 2 now, which is Foster's hairpin, through into what they call Swampy's curves.
It's a nice flowing section of the track, and in these wet conditions, you've just got to be so careful getting the gas down well through this. Absolutely. It wants to break through the whole curve there for you.
This is probably one of the trickiest parts of the track here, the double bastard, as you come up over the
entry
top
into that first part of it, and then it gets loose here, and you try and get the power down, get down to the inside curve and push it out. And Waite is doing such a good job on that beautiful Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's almost 3 apexes, that corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
So out they come there, and there's the Chrome Insurance Toyota 86.
I think we've just become last, I believe. I think we just got passed by the Turner cars. So.
Oh dear. So, well, we'll see after the completion of this lap. So, as we watch Andrew Waite bring the Brazier scaffolding Lamborghini Huracan out of the trade zone sweeper for the very last time. Climbs up the hill here now and will come into our view anytime soon. The checkered flag will come out, and here it is, checkered flag out now for the Lamborghini as it takes out the final 3 hour here at Hampton Downs. There's the 4th place Manson Penrose car, and there's our 2nd place car there, the McLaren 570S of John DeVath, Glenn Smith and Damon Leach. And in 3rd place, you just saw the car going out of screen there, that will be the Sam Fillmore, Dan Gaunt Audi R8. Then it'll be the Luke Manson, James Penrose R8. Then it'll be the Ayrton Hodgson Reagan Scholar Porsche 991, followed by the James Sachs Sam Waddell Mercedes, and then it'll be the Carl Wall Hammond Thompson Honda, followed by the Gilbertson McIntyre Porsche, the Andrew Turner Steve Benenbrook BMW V8, and last but by no means least,
me,
Thomas Mallard and Mark Mallard.
Me,
well
I was
done.
last.
So,
well, I commentated, sponsored, and
oh,
drove.
mate,
That's not
you know,
bad.
mate,
I got something right.
Yeah, you've done just about everything today. So apart from being organiser. So, but no, so well done.
Might have a couple of positions in Motorsport New Zealand where I do a few organising things as
well done to you and young Thomas. And now I've got to sign off because I've got to head down and go and do the presentations.
That's our championship win, actually, Class 5.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'll be presenting you with a prize this afternoon as well. So there we go, folks. This is JT signing off until I get down in the pits. Thank you very much, and we look forward to being back online soon.
So here I am with the winners of the race, Glenn Brazier and Andrew Waite, who's still shaking hands over there. So we'll talk to you while he's coming. So you must be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, wrapped. Just stoked for the team and stoked for Andrew really to be able to get a good another podium and a top step of the podium this time round. So credit to Andrew. Done a stellar job out there once again, and the team's done a great job, sort of thing. So just a shout out to the team. Just really appreciate what they've done.
You said you're a bit nervous at the end, but it all came right.
Yeah, I was probably more nervous watching Andrew out there than I was sort of on the slicks in the rain, to be fair. But you know, safe pair of hands, so no one better to have out there when that's going on.
Andrew, you're looking pretty chuffed.
Yeah, pretty happy with that one. To come away with P1, we came into North Island Endurance Series as a learning experiment to get ready for the South. So to come away with the win, Glenn brought it home, you know, somewhere where we could fight away, and yeah, it's just an absolute pleasure to drive this car and be with the James Marshall team, and yeah, thanks to Glenn and his stellar efforts in that one. It's pretty cool.
And so that last stint wasn't easy.
It wasn't. It was actually quite awkward with the pace of Dan as well in front of me. I sort of need to press on, but then, you know, I sort of knew Damon was coming, so just trying to manage all that was difficult. Yeah, and the track didn't dry either. It just sort of stayed the same the whole time.
Right. So, but the car looked pretty good out there, and you had good pace, and you just kept it together, and there was a lot of drama going on around you.
Yeah, there was a fair bit of keeping it on the island. That was top of mind, keeping it on the island, keeping it going. So, yeah, it was one of the harder races. You sort of wanted to press on, but every time you did, that's when the mistakes would creep in. So it was pretty tough.
So, Glenn, what's up? What's next for you guys?
The South Island. Me and Andrew will be doing the South Island, and probably a bit of testing and stuff in that as well, sort of thing. So that's the next thing to look forward to.
Go the Raging Bull?
Yeah. We'll see how much raging goes on down.
Well, the batteries went flat right at the end there, so we had to do a quick battery swap on the microphone. It's all been go today. It was all go out there in that last section of the race for you.
Yeah, it definitely was. Unfortunately, I made a bit of a mistake and run into the back of James Penrose in the Manson car. But yeah, the car was awesome all day, and yeah, a lot of fun out there.
You were really pushing on at that stage.
I was, yeah. I knew I had to. The Audis are just such a good car, and we knew sort of where their strengths and stuff were, and I was just trying to get past them before he could get a bit of a gap on us, and yeah, unfortunately just braked maybe a little late and bumped the back of it, but yeah, that's kind of is what it is. So
it came right in the end.
Yeah, luckily we managed to carry on with get a drive through, and I think they carried on as well, so a bit of a shame, but yeah, still pretty cool to get second, and I think we still had some pretty good speed out there, so it was a lot of fun in the wet. So yeah.
Awesome. So John, you had the first time in the car, and you got to Glenn had the first part. Well, we'll talk to you next. So much happened during the race. You got to watch a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty cool at the end there. You know, we watching David trying to have the pass. It was just a bit of a shame he touched him, but hey, it's still cool racing.
Yeah, amazing racing, and your stint, a lot happened as well, right?
Oh, just driving around on those wets in the dry, just trying to use up time, really. But yeah, so I was just sort of trying to keep the car.
And so, what are you guys thinking of doing next?
What's that?
What's your plan for next? You're going to go to the South Island?
No, I've got a lot of things on overseas, so I'm going to probably not do any of the South Island rounds at this stage. But we do change our mind a lot.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I like it if he changes his mind.
And obviously, second stint was probably the nicer time in the car.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Poor old Glenn had to go out on the wets and it got dry, and then obviously I jumped in and on the slicks, and the car was good. Then obviously it started raining at some point, and was very interesting. And but I enjoyed it actually. I enjoyed the car's okay, and yeah, it's turned up here on P2, so we're pretty happy.
Well, you've got to be really happy because it's provisional, but we're told that the points are even right now, so there's going to be a count back, right? So do you guys know anything about that?
Yeah, well, what they're telling us is that pole that Johnny got at Taupo gives us the win. So
There you go. So you're going to be more than happy, right?
Yeah, can't get too much better than that, I guess. So.
All right, well, enjoy the champagne. We're going to go get the third place getters, so we'll just quickly come down here and then we'll hand it over. Yep. Where is third, guys? Hello. Just looking for Sam Fillmore. Sam, Dan, come over here. And then we'll hand over to you, John. P3?
Yeah. Yeah, it was what an eventful race, eh? And congratulations to the boys. But yeah, I'll sit tonight on the couch and just reflect on what was a pretty tough day.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a tough season for you. I mean, it's been really tough conditions.
You know what's been cool though? You know, you've had 3 different rounds and 3 different winners. So I reckon that's great for the sport, great for the series competition. Even though we haven't had a lot of cars, the competition's been really, really good. It'd be neat for some guys to get their cars out of the garage and come and race, but the quality of cars, quality of drivers has been exceptional.
I mean, it's come right down to the wire. Nothing was ever a given, was it?
100%, and you don't want it to be. To be out there scrapping and having a real good race right to the end at 3 hours. That's what we want, and hopefully these boys will all come down to the South Island and with some of our friends down there, and we'll have a good scrap and some good racing down there.
Well, enjoy that drink. I better hand the mic over to John because they're looking to do the final awards for the year. Thank you very much.
Good on you. Thanks, mate.
And over to John Tomlin.
Okay, folks, we're going to do the prize giving now for the 3 hour. We're going to start off with Class 5, and that is going to be Chris Wall, Layman Hammond, and David Thompson. Where are you guys?
Class 3, James Sachs and Sam Waddell.
Okay, Class 3, James Sachs and Sam Waddell. Yeah, here they come. Well done, guys. Hey, James, all right, mate? Good luck. I'll catch you later.
Class 2, Arton Hudson and Regan Scholar.
Okay, Class 2 is Ayrton Hodson and Regan Scholar. Let's move this way a bit. Okay. Third overall, Sam Fillmore and Dan Gaunt. Well done, buddy. Good on you, mate. Good on you, Dan. Cheers, buddy.
Second overall, Glenn Smith, Damon Leach, and John DeVeth.
Okay, second overall, Glenn Smith, Damon Leach, and Johnny DeVeth. Well done, guys. Congratulations, buddy. Well done, Johnny. Cheers, mate. Well done, Damon.
And the winners outright for today, Glenn Brazier and winners, Glenn Brazier and
Not yet, not yet. Okay. Okay, and overall, give it up for Glenn Brazier and Andrew Waite. Okay, that's it, guys.